Hey, everybody. I hope you're doing well. Happy Saturday. Oh, I hear it echoing a little bit. So, how's it going? How's everybody
Good.
doing? Good. I see. I see that we've already got some individuals here in the chat. I see Uncle Dave was first. Hey, Uncle Dave.
Hi,
Happy
good day.
Saturday. Hope you're doing well. My partner in crime on trivia on Thursdays, Scott from Controversial Cruising. Hey, Scott. I hope you're doing well tonight.
Hi, everybody.
Traveling check. How are you doing?
Doing good, and you?
Good. It's been one of those days. Like, you know what, we're going on an adventure tomorrow, so I've been trying to get things done. Because when you leave the house over the weekend, it seems like you know everything piles up, and I don't want to have to deal with it on Monday.
Right.
Let me
Yes.
know when you're ready, Mike. All right. Look who we have, Mr. Mike Clock.
What's going on,
Hi, Mike.
everybody?
Hey. So how was your Saturday?
It was okay. I cleaned my desk off and hung my you're not gonna be able to see it now, but I hung my Carnival and Royal posters up and scratched the ships off.
That's awesome. I need to do the same. I need to get it out of the little poster roll that I bought. I've scratched them all off, but I haven't framed them. I want to redo the whole office, but I'm redoing Chloe's room right now, and that's a whole process in its own. So this has kind of become the overflow room.
Have you bought frames yet?
I have not.
I bought a 3-pack of frames. I don't know if you got Royal and Carnival, but I bought the 3-pack of frames from Amazon. I'll send you the link for it because it wasn't very much, and it's perfect fit.
Thank you. Yes, thank you so much. I appreciate that. Lisa and Tony. Oh, I forget their channel name. I forget their name, but they have these posters and they're like lottery ticket scratch offs. So you can scratch off
Views and cues.
Views and cues, and they've got the like Carnival and Royal and different ones, and you scratch off what ships you've been on, and it has like all the facts on it, and then you can see what ships you've been on and haven't been on. Bill has one in his background framed. I think it was like over his shoulder, and so we ordered them when they were on sale, and they're really really cool. I just haven't hung mine up yet.
Yeah, the Carnival was cheap. The Carnival one was on sale for like $12 or something, $10 or $12.
Yes, it was like $12. It was really cool. I mean, I was like when scratching like, is this gonna be $1 million prize? No, but it was cool. Uncle Dave says he can't lie. He's been waiting for this live all day. Oh, that makes me happy. I know that makes Traveling Check and Clock Family Adventures happy as well.
Yeah.
We appreciate you being, joining.
Well, he didn't know I was here, so he probably not too happy now.
Oh, whatever.
We're all happy.
We're all happy. And let's see. I just want to make sure I'm good on chat. If I miss anything, guys, just let me know. Oh, Clock Family Adventures. Hello.
Hello.
7 days till the glory. That's
cool.
exciting. I know.
Don't break it.
That's what you're going on for the booze cruise, correct?
Yep.
Not New Orleans.
We have 42 days.
42 days. Oh well, Dave, are you gonna vlog and have like a whole series over the glory? Let us know so that way we can keep an eye out, and also if you are, you can start dropping your channel links so that way individuals know to go watch for the glory. I have never been on the glory, so that would be a ship I would research if I was going.
Yep.
Hey, Eric B.
Hey,
Lisa and Tony, I know y'all are kind of new to the cruising community, but Travel Adventures with Eric B. He does all kinds of adventures. He's out of the Louisiana area too, but
okay, cool.
he just went like on a summer trip of a lifetime to like Germany and all these different places. His videos are so good. Like he goes through the airport. He goes to like an Airbnb, and he just kind of shows you around the area. It's like Rick Steves. I mean, it's just really really informational, and I would definitely suggest, if you're, I know y'all talked about going over there too, so just look at that channel. It's really good.
Will
He
do.
does a lot of collaboration with Magnificent Germany with Darian.
Yeah, he did 20 some days in Europe,
He did,
Oh wow.
and it was,
and he's going again next year.
and I think he went last year, and it's a really fun series. I wish too he would kind of show like his Eric. I think it'd be kind of cool if you started with like your daily budget and then like subtracted. Like I think that'd be kind of cool too, because I've always kind of wondered, like, because he'll tell you the price of the hotel. Like there was one he was like, it's a little sketchy, but it was like $50, and stuff. It's kind of cool. So definitely.
Yeah, both our daughters went over there for 3 weeks. One of them didn't manage her money too well. We had given her a credit card that we could monitor and put money on as she needed it, and at one point we had to cut it off
Oh no!
because she was just spending like crazy. And so I called the bank and said, "Nah, cut it off."
Oh,
She
Oh,
was
no.
very giving to everybody she was traveling with. They say, "Oh, I want this," and she okay, and she buy it for them. We're like, no, that was
Yeah.
for you to get stuff.
Yeah, that's not how that works.
And next time you talk to her, ask her about my camera.
oh. Uncle Dave says he doesn't really have a channel, but he's going to do his best to make some rookie videos. Hey, we all started somewhere.
Yeah.
I was watching our videos from a year ago, and the things I've learned from then, and still continue to learn. One, I make our videos a little more to the point and shorter. And there's a lot less like turning quickly and make you dizzy, but definitely start somewhere. I highly encourage it. Lisa and Tony, I would say the same thing. I'm like, you're going on all these cruises, you're doing some like once in a lifetime trips. Just do it. If anything, just for yourself. I mean, I know when I look back at videos of Chloe's first cruise, or when she was like 18 months old, and even though we're at a local park, that video, I don't regret having it at all. So just start somewhere.
Even if you just do shorts.
Yeah.
Yeah, one of the things Bill mentioned to us when we were on the Luminosa was that it's also a good place. I mean, if nothing else, this is a good place to store photos. You don't have to worry about, filling up your cards and stuff like that because they're here.
It's true.
Yeah, I still need to download that program from last week because I have like 5,300 pictures on my phone. It keeps telling
Google
me
Photos.
Yeah, I have not done that yet. It's been a rough week for me. So.
Oh no. Hey, Scott McNeil, I hope you're doing well.
It's got.
So tonight I thought we would kind of talk about excursions, and just kind of, I want to kind of see what y'all do. I know Clock, well, and Lisa and Tony too. I'm kind of a planner, and I start booking things as soon as I book a cruise. I start, booking just different things. I know it's kind of been a joke about how fast I can do hotels, or and so I get really excited about my trips. But I kind of wanted to hear what y'all look for and do for excursions. I've always done like the beach one. Sorry if you hear Chloe, like I'm in the office, but I've always kind of done the beach ones and stuff. But I'm starting to do kind of different ones, so I just kind of wanted to hear your take. First, what's your favorite excursion you've been on? We'll start with you, Lisa and Tony.
Oh,
I want to say Rhythm of the Nights that
we went together.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was pretty cool. That was in
Cabo.
Was it Cabo? It was Mexican Riviera. Was it Cabo or Puerto Vallarta? It was Puerto Vallarta.
Okay.
Yeah, and it was really cool. It was like dinner on the beach and then a show, and
yeah, they took you back into a jungle setting. I mean, it was you go up these paths and stuff, and you walk through a jungle, and you go to this amphitheater type setting that is in the jungle. and you're surrounded by trees. And try not to go when it's the hottest part of the season, because I mean, we didn't have one or two people pass out
They had like more like 3.
because it just got so hot and muggy in there.
Yeah, no circulation at all
no-
because it was in the just kind of a little clearing in the middle.
But I mean, it was an excellent show. And then afterwards, you got to eat dinner and stuff like that. And it was a 30-minute boat ride there, and then about another 30 minutes back afterwards. But the boat ride back is at night, which is kind of cool. You get to see everything all lit up.
And that's one where we saw the panorama and they were blowing the horn because it was a little late getting back.
Well, we weren't late. We were just how they like you back 30 minutes before.
Yeah,
We were at that 30 minutes
Yeah.
getting back, and so they were. I guess they had blown the horn a couple of times, and I guess they'd even called the captain of the boat that we were on and said, "Look, tell those people they need to come straight back as soon as they get off." No, of course we plan on doing that anyway.
Yeah, and they had carts and stuff sitting there waiting for us. So.
Yeah.
But it was like I don't know, would you say a Disney type theatrical show? It was really cool, and dinner was good too. So I think it was money well spent, and it was.
Oh yeah.
First time we went, they didn't have it because of the time that we arrived and left port, and so the second time we went out there, it was like, what do we get there, like 2 until 10 o'clock that night or something like that. So it was real cool that we were able to get it. I told him, I said, I'm going, I don't care what you do, I'm gonna go do this. And he was like, oh well, I'll go. So
That's really cool. And that's on the Mexican Riviera cruise, correct? Okay. That's really cool. We have not done any cruises on the Mexican, on that side at all. So that's really cool on the West Coast. Uncle Dave says at least his family would have, a way to experience the trips with him, kind of. I love that. That's why we do it. And then favorite excursion so far would be the zip line and cave tubing in Belize. I have heard that one is awesome as well. We have not done it, but it's always one that sells out on whichever cruises we are on to Belize. So that's a good excursion as well. And welcome in, Chris. Go forth. I hope you're doing amazing. Clark, what would be your favorite excursion so far?
I'd say probably the Sloths and Monkeys in Roatan. It was a pretty cool one, and we did Real Deal Roatan excursions. And depending upon the companies, a lot of people don't know that certain countries, if there's a company that does outside excursions, they get fined if they don't have the people back to the ship on time. So if you're worried about booking outside of the cruise company, there are some there that they definitely want to get you back on time, because one, they're going to lose business because you're going to tell everybody that, hey, he didn't get us back on time. And two, they're going to get fined from the government because they didn't get them back on time. So that is somewhat of a good peace of mind to have. And Roatan is one of those places. We did the it's a 4-part thing. Well, technically 3 parts. We did the sloths and monkeys, so you get to hold the sloths, and then the monkeys just run all over you. You can't grab them or anything like that. You just let them run free, and they put bananas on you. They'll hold the banana right here, and they'll come over on your shoulder and eat it. And then we went to the chocolate factory, and they show you where they make the chocolate and stuff like that, and then wrap it and everything else. And then we went to the rum. It says rum factory, but all it is just a place where they sell the rum. But out back of it has a nice view over the water. So, and that excursion was only like $40 or $50 per person, and you got all that. It was pretty much the whole day.
Wow.
We did something similar on the Vista this year, and that's probably one of my top 3 excursions. But we did it through the cruise line, so we paid a lot more than the $40 per person. But we loved it. I mean, Loved it so much that Lisa and I are doing it again on the Jubilee in
Yep.
January. I loved it so much, and so I held the sloth first, and it was just such, it's like a little baby. I mean, they're just so slow and so cute. Chloe was not able to hold. She was still a little too small. They were just kind of nervous with it, but they would, Andrew got to hold it a second time, which I think he did not mind because he loves sloth.
Yeah.
The whole reason we did the excursion was for Chloe, but it was really Andrew. And so he got to hold the sloth a second time while Chloe got to pet her, and she was the only one that got to pet her. Her name's Olivia. And so that was pretty cool. The monkeys, they were real cool and chill, but when Chloe and we had to go in separately again because Chloe was so small. They were nervous with too many people and her being so small with the monkeys. So when they went, apparently if you use like coconut conditioner, the monkeys go nuts in your hair.
Oh, wow.
So they just, I mean, my hair, I didn't even put that clip in our video because I mean, it's like I look like I got electrocuted by the time I left. I was having to like brush my hair and stuff because they were just like all over it. So then Chloe got to go back in by herself because I was like, they're kind of freaking me out. But they, that was an amazing excursion, but we just did that and then came back to the ship. Bill, welcome in. I wanted to kind of
Welcome. How's it going?
The crowd went wild when you, I've got Bill, and then, hey, Bill. And so we're talking about excursions. I have just a couple different questions. I figured I'd, just kind of see y'all's thoughts. And do you have a favorite excursion, Bill?
Ooh, well, mine is the helicopter ride to the glacier, Minnehaha Glacier. That was my favorite. And also the interactions with the dolphins. It's not quite swim with the dolphins because I can't swim well enough, but the interaction with the dolphins, I enjoyed.
That's really cool. I would
Yeah,
say,
a lot of times, I go on tours and all the animals and things like that. But I think those two were my favorites.
That's really cool. One of my
Did you do that? I'm sorry.
Oh, go ahead, Lisa. Go ahead.
Bill, did you do that in Moria with the dolphins? Or
no, this was a little while ago. I had my son and daughter with me, and we went on with the dolphins, and they let them get out there and play and kiss. Got pictures of kissing the dolphin and hugging the dolphin. But this was a few years ago. I enjoyed it. It's not something that I would really pay to do again. If I had somebody like new with me, I would probably take them so they can experience that. But for me, doing it like the sloths, I don't know. It's been a while. I would try that one again because I didn't get any footage of it or any pictures, so I would try that again for that. But one and done.
Well, I had been there with the monkeys, but they didn't have the sloth when I went in Honduras that time. It was just the monkeys, and that was, without him, that was probably one of my favorite that I had done. I bought all the pictures and everything, and on my head and on my shoulder and everything. I love them anyway, so it was great.
When we were in Australia, you guys were there. I went to the Australian Zoo. So I was able to hold a koala at the time. So that was fun.
That's so cool.
I'm trying to figure out how to do that. I'm looking at the koala sanctuary, but they didn't have, last time I looked about 2 weeks ago, they didn't have anything where you could hold anything. It just had the entry tickets, and that you could buy a pen, a gold or a silver pen, and that's all they had. And I'm like, well, is this where everybody's going? I'm going to have to double check with, some that have been and say, is this where y'all went and held them? Because how'd you do it?
Yeah. They had it where, you didn't get to pet them, really pet them. They, put your arm out, you'd hold them, they take a picture, and then they take them back. So it wasn't like the sloths and monkeys, like the monkeys were just running around. It wasn't like that.
Okay.
Chris Goforth says that his wife's favorite excursion is swimming with the sea lion. That's really cool.
I've never done that. I might try that one time.
My absolute favorite is in Grand Cayman. We've swam with the stingrays, and I've done that one 3 different times. I love it so much. I've done it 3 different times. But there was one where you went to that and then you swam with the stingrays. I did it with my dad. It was actually one of my last cruises with my dad. We went and did that, and it was just such a cool experience with how the stingrays come up and holding them, and you got to kiss them 7 years for good luck. So I was kissing all over that stingray, and then like the second part of that tour was going to this turtle farm, and you kind of get to see like all they breed sea turtles there, and you kind of learn a lot of about this, the sea turtles, and then you get to hold a couple of them, and they kind of explain how, like, in some cultures, some individuals like them for delicacies, not in the United States, but in some cultures, so they farm them so that way they're not catching wild ones, and they kind of give like this whole concept of it, and you see eggs, where they're incubating them, and then you've got like this it's kind of like a lazy river, but it's got coral and fish and sea turtles, and you can snorkel all around, and it was just a really cool excursion. I think that one is one I would definitely do again. Just I love the doing stuff with the animals. I love animals, so I think that's where I tend to go if it's not a beach break, is with animals. I guess oh, go ahead, Lisa.
I was just going to say, I had the swimming with the sea lions booked at one point, and I don't know why I didn't go. I know some of them I've looked at, they have life jackets and some of them don't, and I don't know how to swim. And I was reading that, you have to kind of swim out and just kind of stay there buoyant while they jump over you. And I'm like, yeah, he would land on top of me and push me down. And so all these things went through so I backed out of it, but man, I want to do the sea lions and dolphins both. I absolutely love them. So I'm the one that stands on the side and watches everybody else do it, dreaming of the day that, I could go do that. So
I understand that.
There's a nice place right in Costa Maya at the port for doing the swim with the dolphins. Don't even have to leave the port. It's right when you get off the ship.
That's right. Like right there in the port. By the Swamp Bar, right?
Now, is that something you have to have a ticket for? Because I've seen that is it flamingos there or something like that? Those were all sold out.
You can buy it right when you get on the island. Now I don't know how bad I don't know how much it sells out, but the day we went, we could have went up there and got a spot.
Something we can look at in the Jubilee.
Yeah.
Chloe being so little kind of limits us, like, because there's some age requirements on some of that stuff, like they have to be 8 and older or a certain height. But I'll take pictures for you.
I gotta have somebody to grab onto as I'm thinking.
Right.
You saw me in Grand Cayman with the stingray.
Yeah.
And when they say tuck your thumb and hold it. Oh
yeah.
Yeah, I ended up with a hickey about 3 days on my thumb after that.
Oh yeah, they suck pretty hard to get the shrimp. So.
Yeah, and I didn't think I was holding the shrimp that tight, but yeah.
Chris says,
right, Uncle Dave.
Chris says he jumped over us, but the kiss with him was not so pleasant. And then Dave says, "Come on, Tony, teach her how to swim. Doggy paddle at least."
Right. You're out there doing all the scuba dives and all that other stuff. Come on now.
Oh, he's gone.
I've tried to teach her.
Yeah,
I was at the apartment when we lived in the apartments. We were at the pool. And we were in the shallow end, and I was getting her to float. And every time I'd release her to let her go on her own,
I'd panic. Well, we did the snorkeling. Well, he did the snorkeling in Belize because they were trying to teach me, as long as I could touch the ground with my hands, I could do it. And they were like, "Okay, well, let go and kick." I said, "I can't do both. I got to hold on to the ground." And they were like, "Well, you need to come out deeper." No. That's not going to happen. So I ended up just laying on the beach and watching them go around. I thought, no.
Right. So have y'all ever
That's the same way my wife is.
Really?
Yeah.
So have y'all ever had a bad excursion. I have one that it was our fault why it was not a pleasant, but I was just going to ask, has anybody ever had a disappointing excursion? Lisa?
Not really not really disappointing. There were times, a couple of excursions, like you know, you're taking tours and something happens where, oh well, we have to cancel this part. In Fiji, was it? I think it was Suva. We were supposed to be going to a village to see like a dance and some custom and eat some food there. Well, I guess they had run out of food, so we weren't able to taste the food. So just a couple of things, nothing to ruin the trip, but it was just they just cut a couple of things out.
We went to La Romana and just did a. Normally, when I go on an island, the first time I go to an island, I get in a taxi and I have the driver take me all around the island and try to tell me like about everything. That way, the next time I come back, I'll know different places to go.
Exactly.
So we got off. We did the same thing in La Romana, and there was really nothing there. Now it may have just been that the taxi driver just didn't know exactly where to take us. All he did was when you leave the port, if you go to the right, it's like rich, multi-million-dollar homes in this gated community. When you go to the left, you go to the city, and the city is like very rundown, like piles of trash in the streets. People are almost running each other over when they're trying to run across the street, and just didn't look too safe. And there was just like really nothing there. Nothing that says, oh, I really want to go back and go to this place or that place. So next time I go back, unless I have like an actual excursion plan, something that I can find that, like, I'm going to have to do a little bit of research and see what everybody else has done there to figure out what I'm going to do next time I go there.
Well, I went to Nassau, that resort there, and that was one of our first cruises, I guess. Atlantis, yeah. And I really wanted to go to the aquarium. And so we get there, and there were so many people, and I'm always dragging up the rear, and I couldn't hear what they were saying. And I managed to get a beach towel. And so we walk along, that we saw where the beach was, and our guide just took off. And everybody kind of scattered and went their own way. Some went to the beach, some went to the pool. And every pool that I went to, they said it was for resort guests only. And so I'm like, all right. So I finally just gave up, and I started walking back, and I found some little pools where they had different, fish and stuff. So I took pictures of all that. And then I go back in, and I never could find the aquarium. And I ended up, I stopped in the casino. I had like $50 on me. I walked out with 60. And I heard somebody saying something about being late back to the ship. So then I panicked. And so I go back out front, and I'm waiting for the shuttle, which took forever. I hadn't eaten all day. So I saw a little alleyway. If you ever get the chance, if you're ever there, there's an alleyway. It goes down to like a little flea market area. And there was a Starbucks down there. I was like, all right. So I got me a mango slushy, which, oh my God, it was amazing. That was the best part of the day. And so I get a sandwich, I get back, I catch the shuttle, go back to the ship. And of course, I still had plenty of time. So I'm sitting there on the dock eating my sandwich. And so we go to dinner that night, and they start asking how our day was. And I just broke down in tears. I was so upset. So I thought, I'm never going back. Of course, last time we went, they weren't doing excursions there, because I thought, I'm going to go see this aquarium, and I still didn't get to go. So I have no desire to go back. And, I'm looking at a cruise next summer, and it's just kind of, it goes to Nassau, and I'm like, nah, I'm all right. So
what year was that you went?
It was 15 when we started cruising. So maybe 15, maybe 17, 2017. Okay. It's been a long time.
We went there in 2017, and we acted like we belonged there, because when we got out the cab, they told us, go over to this window right here. You buy all your tickets to the water park and to the aquarium and everything else. Mm-hmm. We were like, oh, okay, yeah, we'll get that in just a second. We walked in. We went to the casino. I played a few dollars on the tables in the casino so I can give me my poker chip. And if you walk out through the back door of the casino, that's the aquarium. That's where it starts. So the manta rays are right there. So when we walked
Ah.
out there, the guy was coming out in the morning. We got there first thing, like that. That's the like we got off the ship one right there. So he was coming out in the morning to feed the manta rays. So I have a video on my channel that has them feeding the manta rays. They put the food in a bucket and they like run in front of it, and then the manta ray comes and gets it out of the bucket. But the aquarium's normally like $35 or $45 a person. No, we didn't pay anything. We just went right through the casino into the aquarium, did the whole entire aquarium, walked through the tunnels where they swim around you and everything else.
Mhm.
So that's one of the things is like, and not one person there gave a crap. That's why I was confused when you said that they were telling you about having to be a resort guest, because we went around all the pools because we just wanted to see it, because we were thinking maybe we may do a week vacation down there at some point. So we walked around all the pools, stuck our feet in the pools. Not one person ever said a word to us. And she even went out on the beach because she collects seashells.
Mm-hmm.
We didn't take it back on the ship. But then I ran into a person that works there and asked him where to eat lunch, and he didn't even care. Like, he said, well, are you staying here? I was like, no, I'm from a ship. He's like, oh, well, you got this restaurant over here that has this type of food, and you got this one over here. So he was nice can be. So I guess it all depends on who you run into, because it wasn't bad. I can't see me staying a week there because I think it's going to be way too pricey.
Yeah.
But that was the only downside. But
well, Lisa, I had your luck. I had your luck, Lisa. I went over there, and it's like I'm trying to walk outside where the pool area is. Are you a resort? Yes, I should have said yes, but no, this is for resort guests only, and so they kicked me out. I did see part of the aquarium, but I didn't walk through it. And I mean, just the prices, and this is probably going back to about 2018. And I mean, just the prices were so high. And I look at the price of the tours now, and it's like, this is not worth it.
Yeah.
I've never been back.
It was like over $200 last year. Like,
yeah, it was crazy.
Yeah.
A lot of times now,
it was like $120 a person for the water park. And then, like I said, the aquarium was like $34 or something like that. I couldn't. I mean, the aquarium was okay, but I can't see paying $34 a person for it.
And now, a lot of times I go down there, I just walk to the beach. What's the name of the beach that you go down, turn right, you walk down past?
Junkanoo Beach.
Junkanoo Beach, and that I go down there, and that's that's good enough for me usually. Stop and grab a bite to eat.
Well, I hadn't been real big on mango. Not that I didn't like it or anything, but I got that, and I came back here, and I can't tell you how many Starbucks I went to going, do you have a mango? Do you have the mango? And they're like, no. I was like, oh, it must have been just, because it was tropical environment. Maybe they were just, I don't know. But I haven't gotten one since. And that was the best part of that whole stop that day was that smoothie or whatever. And I guess I followed the crowd, and we went out to the right, and they took us down to the beach. And then to do anything on the beach, you had to pay for each individual thing. And I was just like, this is crap. So last time we went, we did the pirate ship.
I did that. I had so much fun. I mean, it was kind of silly, but I had fun.
Very cheesy.
Yeah, very cheesy.
I met somebody. She had her little son there, so he was kind of the star of my video because he became the star of the show, and I was just filming him, and I had a good time on. But again, if you have kids, it's fun. If adults, I would avoid it.
Right. Hey, Shamster.
Is that Nassau?
Nassau.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
They took you about all these little fancy houses and everything, went out there and let you feed some fish off the side, and then came back, and they had a pirate kind of singing and dancing and arg with his knife, and then we were back, and it was like, okay, you can get off now. I did see a turtle though as we were getting off the pirate ship, so that was cool.
That's really cool. We have one down here, and it's very kid friendly through the summer, but during off travel season, it's an adult show. And so we haven't been on it, but I've heard it's kind of the same thing as I looked at the one in Nassau and I thought, well, why am I going to pay double the price? I can just go down the street here and it's probably the same show.
Right.
But hey, Shanster, I hope you're doing
Yeah.
well. Scott says he would rather go explore the port. I agree with you, especially when you're new to a port. Hey, together we travel. I hope you're doing well. Thank you everybody for being here. We really appreciate you. Um, for us, I would say, and this was our fault. So we we did one of those like beach break all inclusive in Cozumel, and we didn't do like it wasn't like how they are now. It was like I don't know about 10 years ago. It was one of the ones that it's the more expensive one, and it's a long ride out there. Well, Andrew and I the port day before had been like drink for drink with my dad, and so we and when we got back from Progresso that day, we had drank heavily. I mean, that's the one where Andrew and I were like standing in the duty free shop, and I'm like, I think the ship's moving. We weren't even on the ship; we were on land, and we missed dinner that night because we fell asleep. Anyways, the next day we had booked this in the hot sun. We're 20 something in the hot sun, beach break, all you can drink, and we were so hungover that it was just awful for us. Like the sun was awful. It was loud music. It was just the worst day. It was not the excursion's fault. It was Jennifer and Andrew's fault. But my brother was married to a different person at the time, and she didn't know how to swim. It was just this whole thing, and so anyway, she had gone out too far. My brother was having to bring her back, and so she was on his back. Well, Andrew stepped in seaweed and like seaweed, and like jumped up and was like jumped. He like jumped on. Justin was like trying to bring them both back. They were way out, hungover, 20 something and stupid, trying to do flips off the iceberg. Andrew anyways, that was our worst excursion, but we've learned from it. But again, that was Jennifer and Andrew. It was not the ship's fault. But yeah, I have to tell you that story someday. Like with Andrew, it was like seaweed. He was like trying to have Justin carry him back, and Justin was like, dude, like it was 20. Andrew was maybe 21. So, anyways. But that's our worst excursion. Other than we've had like some maybe like tour guides or something where you just can tell they've like this is their 20th time to repeat the same thing that day and they just didn't really care anymore.
Right.
But whatever.
Well, the worst one that I had was one with the arch. Cabo. Yeah, she went on her excursion and I went diving. And on the second dive, he took us out around the rocks, more in the open ocean. He said, now be careful. There may be a little bit of a current here. We get down there and the current was so bad that I couldn't get back to where we were going. At one point, I was actually on the bottom holding on to stuff, trying to crawl back because the current was so strong. It was just pulling us out into the ocean. And I mean, it literally could not fight against it. And they finally got the boat to us to where we could get in it. But it was pretty scary not being able to control where you're going without having to actually grab onto the ground and pull yourself where you want to go.
Right. I can see where that's a little scary. Definitely. Uncle Dave says he stopped doing any excursions in Costa Maya and Cozumel. Has been to both 7 times. Yeah, if you're going out of New Orleans or Galveston, you've been to Cozumel and Costa Maya a time or two. Hello, Brennan. How are you doing?
Hey.
Hey, Destination Fun. I hope you're doing amazing. I hope you're feeling better. And then Chancer has a question for you, Bill. Didn't you recently have an episode in water?
The only water story that I really have that is a story, but it was a long time ago. It was 2018, 2017. 7 Mile Beach. It dropped off. I was on the beach. I mean, I was out in the water walking like, waist deep water, and it just dropped off. And I'm not a good swimmer, and it just dropped off. So now I'm trying to fight to get back to where I can put my feet down and be above the water. And it was tough. Again, not the best swimmer in the world.
Right. Right. Now, all three of you have mentioned doing excursions outside of the cruise line, in various lives, to save money. I know, Clock, you've mentioned on how you save money. Bill, I know you actually prefer it. So I guess too, like, what is your process on booking an excursion outside of the cruise line? For somebody who's a first time cruiser, I for one do not suggest that, because you're still kind of learning, how to get back to the ship in time, or, those things. I don't suggest it for anybody who's like their very first cruise. But, if you've been on 2 or 3, maybe even, and past that, 10 or 12, you start looking at those cruise prices and you think, oh, I'm not paying that for that. And you learn things. Clock, I'm going to start with you, because I know you do a lot of things on how to save money in the ports and stuff.
Well, like the most of the time, like I said, the first time I go to an island, I go to the taxi stand and try to find a well-rounded taxi driver that can kind of tell us a lot about the island and try to get us to the most amount of area of the island as possible, and tell us all about the history and stuff like that, and show us places along the way that a lot of people go to, and a lot of the best places for viewing and taking pictures. So that's what I mainly do each time I go. As far as like the Roatan excursion, that was booked through Sharon at Sea. So I didn't have anything to do with that, but it's a real deal Roatan. So I already talked to Have Luggage Will Travel about doing that again for the FRGC 2.0, because I want to take my girls on that. But there's several different companies out there that you can talk to, and like I said, a lot of countries they get fined if they don't get them back on time. But that's kind of how I do it. Like I said, I can't say that I'm the best person to go by, because I'm extremely cheap. But that's my advice.
That's great advice. And Bill, you recently just had this topic, and I encourage all of you, if it should be dropping your links, but if it's not, y'all to, those of you on my panel, to do #nation. Clock does a lot of money saving trips, because tips on his channel. Bill, you just recently did a live about safety and how, your process of choosing excursions and stuff too. So I encourage, if you haven't watched Bill's episode on that, you need to. But Bill, if you want to kind of explain some of that as well.
Well, I'm kind of like Mike. I go find a stand. I'm not random. Usually, if you're going to port, the true taxis, they have like special plates or special permits that they post, and they let you know, hey, don't get in the car if it doesn't have that. But I'm like Mike. Again, I don't like to pay the prices of some of the tours that you get on the ship. For somebody new, I probably would recommend maybe going with the ship till you get your feet wet. But first thing I do is, the first time I ever go to a new place is, I'd go to try to take a tour like Mike does and go around the island. And a lot of places you'll get to, well, I shouldn't say, in the South Pacific, they have hop on, hop off buses. So you buy a day pass, you get on a bus, it stops at like 10, 12 different little spots around the island, and you can get hop on, hop off as you want. I do those all the time. But I'll have a cab driver take me around. Make sure he's not taking me any place. If they start looking sketchy, I've never run into one, but they start sketchy places, you let them know what you want to do, what you want to see. Take me around places, and then they describe different places where this occurred, and get a little history lessons. But it's more like one-on-one. But it's it's half the price of what the cruise company offers. and they want to put you on a bus. And if it's
And-
like, hey, can you take me back over here? Matter of fact, I was in Panama, and where can I go? Buy some cheap purses and things like that, name brand cheap. And he takes me over there, and they were speaking Spanish, I believe, and I didn't speak Spanish, but my driver was able to go there and negotiate. I'm telling him, what I wanted to spend, and he's negotiating for me. We go someplace, I'll get him up, buy him something to drink or whatever we're nibbling on. No alcohol, but that's what I do. Like when I go to a lot of these different ports.
A lot of them will actually do a flat rate too for you. So they tell you this much money, and you can go as long as you want. So you catch it good. It's way cheaper than the cruise lines.
And to me, it's better because especially you get a guy. It's a personal tour instead of a tour with 20 different people, 30 different people.
Right.
Yeah, Mike, I'm kind of with you on that as far as that's the way to go. But again, and I also, if the ship leaves at 4, I'm on my way back, if not back by 2. So I don't. It's not like, hey, let's see how close we can push it. Oh, it's only half an hour from here. I don't care. Get me back 2 hours early.
Yeah.
And I've never had that problem. Never had a close call of being a peer runner.
Yeah,
but again,
I do the same thing, and I just use that last 2 hours to do the little shopping around the port area and get back on the ship when I want to.
Right.
That's when I explore the port area. But one thing that I found that the biggest problem people have is they drink too much. They get off the ship and they drink too much. And those are the people that are usually left behind. Those are the people who can't keep track of the clock a lot of time. Not all the time, but a lot of the time.
Right. I agree with you. And we've done a tour like that in Jamaica too, because we decided to just kind of just do our own thing in Jamaica, which I do not recommend. But this was our second or third time to be there within like a 2-year span. So we went ahead and did it. And we've done our own thing in Jamaica twice. And one time we had the private tour, and it was just such we had a really good taxi driver, and he gave us a lot of information. It was like more like a taxi driver, but it was like a white van thing. But it was but again, I would definitely use caution on it. We were traveling in numbers as well. It wasn't just like me and Andrew by ourselves. We had a good group of like 7 of us, and so it traveled in numbers. We did this, and he took us to all kinds of places, and it was just kind of cool to see the island. The second time we went to Sunscape and did something outside of the cruise line as well. But I think doing your research and then 2, like you both said, 1, trust your gut. 2, ask the right questions, make sure it's a negotiated rate, be aware of your time and don't drink too much. Tony and Lisa, y'all also kind of do your own excursions, but Tony, you do dives. And right now Carnival is not, a lot of their dives have been canceled in the past year, or so. I know there's some insurance things and some risk things. So your channel is mostly about diving. So could you kind of explain to me the process of how you use the cruise ships to go do these different dives? I think that would be kind of interesting to those. I saw Cruise Nuts is here. Hello. They also do dives. A lot of Cozumel content, like just various things with whale sharks and stuff too. Hey, Sean, I hope you're doing well.
Yeah, no, I'm certified through Patty. So what I do is that I can go to Patty's website, and they have a find a dive shop locator. I will try to find out where the port is exactly on whatever place that we're going to. I try to find out exactly where that port is located. And then I will go to Patty's website and then look for their 5-star Patty shops. If they don't have a 5-star, then I start looking at the ones that aren't 5 stars. But I work my way out from the port, and I get in contact with the dive shops to see if they've got anything offered. ask them all kinds of information as far as, when does it come back? What does it include? Can you pick us up at the port? Can you drop us off? What kind of equipment? The cost? Is there, just all sorts of stuff. And if, in fact, the problem I'm running into right now is with Cozumel. We will have to do a private dive, which is going to cost a little over $500 to rent the boat. But that's for 6 divers. So if I can, what I'll be doing is posting something on the Jubilees page about that. If we can get enough people interested in it, that's only going to cost about $100 a piece. But they will do a private dive, 2-tank dive, and then I also look at the resorts, or if it's not whether it's a 5-star resort or it's not, if it's just a dive shop Patty recommends, I will go and look at their reviews to see what kind of reviews people have left. And then, depending on where it is, figure out how to get there. But normally I ask them if there's a way they can pick us up at the port, or is it within walking distance. The one in Freeport, they actually arranged for a cab to pick us up at the port and drop us off. But as far as Carnival offering dives, they've pretty much limit that, and a lot of that has to do with when they're getting into the port, because a lot of the dive boats go out about 8 o'clock in the morning, which means you have to be at the dive shop somewhere between 7 and 8 to get all your stuff registered. Well, if the ship doesn't arrive until 8 or 9, everybody's gone out, and so they're like, yeah, you're too late. And so like in Cozumel, we're going to have to set up a private dive.
Okay. Cruise Nuts, they suggested Blue Angel Resort for diving. We're not divers, but I think that's very interesting. And the fact that, you mentioned doing your research first. And that, I think that's something I think everybody on the panel would stress. Just have a plan if you're not going through the Carnival or Princess or whichever cruise line you're with.
Right.
Now, I did notice on the Excursions, they had a beginner scuba diving, but they don't have a one for certified divers, which is really strange.
Yeah.
And since he goes out and does his own thing, I never can remember when we were in Jamaica, it was like red license plate, black license plate. I don't remember which one not to get in. So I will only do Carnival excursions because I don't feel safe by myself walking up to a taxi stand and go, hey, take me around, because I'm just like, I'm not a very trusting person. And so I've never done that. I'm like, I'll pay the extra money to guarantee that I'm back and that I know that it's been approved through Carnival and, and they deem it safe. So that's just me being a scaredy cat, I guess.
Being smart.
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of times, don't, if you're new and you sometimes you're kind of shy and don't want to question people and ask questions, ask all the questions. But if you find that like a driver that you like, get their number. They'll give you a number, and they usually sometimes have cards and give you a card. So next time you come, if you want to go someplace, people I know in the Dominican, I got their number, and it's like, you call them on WhatsApp or whatever, form that you can use. If you use your phone, you can go ahead and use your phone, but call them up. Hey, I'm gonna be at the airport at such and such. Can you pick me up? And usually I'm on my way. I mean, it's much cheaper than trying to do a cab. And somebody you dealt with before, and I do that a lot of times on a lot of my excursions, or if I want to go someplace around an island, especially like the Dominican.
Yeah.
Well, the one time we went to Aruba, I took a cab to meet a friend at their hotel and spent a couple hours trying to find her. And so then I just kind of walked around and did some shopping and everything. And everybody's like, oh, just take the bus. Because the cab was like almost $25 to go like 4 miles, it seemed like. And they were like, "Oh, just hop on the bus. It's like $3." And I'm like, "Seriously? I just paid 25 to get over here." So
Right.
and it took a little longer to get back because of all the stops and everything. But no, it was like, well, that was easy. Why didn't I ask to do that to get out here? And so, so it was just, it definitely, every trip has been a learning experience.
Mhm.
And that last one was definitely learned a lot.
I used public transportation a few times. I did it in Hawaii and I did it in Australia. And hopping on a bus or the subways, it's fun. I mean, you see locals, and then they can kind of tell you're local, and especially if like I was on the subway, you had with my camera, and half the time the people that I met were from people on the from the cruise ship, and going to the same place, going to the zoo and things like that. So it's a lot of fun.
Well, I try to watch the cruise pages, but I'm so standoffish of people. I'm the one who sits in the corner and watches. And I'm just like, "Oh, hey, yeah, that sounds like fun. I'll talk on the cruise page." And then when it comes time to meeting, I'm like,
Uh-oh.
I've always been that way, though. So.
Have y'all tried anything like resort for a day? I know we did, and we've done it a couple times for Nassau, Jamaica, and stuff. But have y'all tried that as well?
I haven't, other than that Nassau one time, but
I did Paradise Beach for Vulgar's cruise.
Okay. Did you have a good experience?
Yeah. Food was great. Service was great. They had shut it down for us, and I would say it was supposed to be 500 people there. It didn't look like there was 500 people there, and they had so many wait staff on hand that you were never waiting on anything. Now, food took a little bit of time because all these people were ordering food at the same time. But you could say, okay, I want 2 or 3 orders or something, and they would bring you out 2 or 3 orders or something.
I think even though, I mean, we used to do that to kind of save money, but last time I looked at like for instance, Margaritaville in Nassau, when we went in 2021, it was like $80, $75 for the day pass. When we went back this last May, it was over $100 and something. I mean, they had raised the prices quite a bit. So now I'm like, well, do I just go ahead and go to cruise ship, or do I take my chances here? But I think we've always had pretty good luck going through a vendor like that.
Paradise Beach was only 60 or 65. I can't remember what it was. Are you signed up for that, Bill, for the booze cruise?
I haven't signed up for it yet, but I will be.
I get you.
I've never been there before, though.
It's pretty nice.
Paradise Beach.
And see, well, we were supposed to go there in January, but we were on the Vista, who was having some issues, and so we decided not to chance it. We had paid the reservation fee or whatever. But I really regret not going there. We're going to Mr. Sancho's in January, and I've never been there. But I think I kind of have regrets on not going to Paradise, because I've heard it's just as good, and I've heard their shrimp or their coconut shrimp is good and stuff. So I'm kind of like, yeah. But we'll be in Cozumel again.
Yep.
I know
we can change if you want. I mean,
yeah.
I was going to still talk very highly of Mr. Sanchez.
I was going to say Cruise Nuts is here, and he talks very highly of Mr. Sanchez. I think he knows the staff there or something. So we haven't. We've never been there. We've always just kind of done whatever beach break it was, But I'm excited to do it.
Let's say last time we were in Cozumel, I did the salsa and salsa. I've done it 3 times now, and it's a lot of fun.
I hear about that excursion a lot, like where you make the salsa, you learn how to dance the salsa and stuff. Have y'all done?
I've gone with her a couple times.
No,
you're not learning the salsa, Mike.
It's not so much the salsa; it's the free drinks,
the margaritas.
Now you're talking.
Yeah, they teach you how to drink a margarita.
Yeah. It would take me a few drinks to get me to do the salsa.
Well, they keep your cup full the whole time. They teach you to make 6 different salsas, and they come around and refill. And occasionally they'll fill it up with rum first, and then add a little bit of the margarita mix kind of thing. So,
Don't they also give you a shot of tequila?
yeah.
There's one of the salsas that they have you take a little bit of shot, a little shot of something.
Yeah. Twice
So-
I did it by myself, so I didn't drink a whole lot, but he was with me in Cabo or it was Mazatlan where we did it, and I drank both of our shares of margarita that day. It was worth the $65 or $70, whatever I paid.
That's awesome. CruiseNet says that Paradise Beach Club is very nice, more laid back than Sancho's. Mr. Sancho's is more of a party vibe. It's good to know. Thank you, CruiseNet.
Well,
I was
whichever
kind of
one you
looking
want.
forward to it at first because the booze cruise was originally going to Mr. Sancho's, and like I said, I did Paradise Beach for the Vloggers cruise. So I was hoping I'd go to Sancho's just so I had something different, something to compare the two. But everybody changed over to Paradise Beach.
Why is that, Mike? Do you know?
I don't know. I have no idea.
Because it was Mr. Sancho's, and then all of a sudden everybody started going to Paradise Beach.
I think Mr. Sancho's is cheaper. Isn't it?
Oh, it was right. It was within $5 of each other. I
Okay.
can't remember whether it was $5 more, $5 less.
Okay. Well, cool. That sounds like fun.
I think Mr. Sancho's just went up, didn't they, since the restart? But it was only like $5 that it went up. So,
It didn't
but
go
it's
up.
still for what you get.
Yeah.
They didn't go up by
Yeah, I
much.
mean,
It was something like they had
any
made
of
their
them-
prices in 2 years.
Any of them, you got to figure if you're going to drink an alcoholic drink, a mixed drink or something, figure $10. So if you do 5 or 6 drinks, then you paid for everything, and you're getting
Mhm.
food on top of that, and it's good
Right.
food.
Exactly. Exactly. And that's the kind of deals I like with excursions. I like. I mean, we've overpaid on excursions more than once, like, especially going through the cruise line. It's like for once, like for instance, the hop on, hop off train, Key West.
Yeah.
You know, I probably would not book that through the cruise line again. You know, you can go get it much cheaper, if not almost
Right.
free.
Mm-hmm.
You're not really going to be left behind, you know, in port. I mean, unless you're, you know, having a good time at a bar or something. But, you know, you know, that's one I'm like, that's just a money grab. But then there's some, you know, in Alaska, I mean, those are expensive. In like, I was just looking at NCLs and their pricing on excursions, and but then I look at MSC and I'm like, okay, MSC, like those, like, you know, Mike, you and I were talking about the rentals for on the beach. You
Yeah.
know, Carnival is like, let's say 400 or 500. You know, I think Royal Caribbean was like 1,000, and then MSC for the same thing was 200. What?
I think
That's
MSC is really, really. I mean, I think they're really trying to take some business, because I mean, they know that if you're going to get a good deal, then you're going to keep coming back. I mean, and if you look at like Moonlight Adventures, and a couple of those, they did their first MSC this year, and they love them, and they're getting ready to go on another one this week.
Yeah.
I think they've been on 3 or 4 of them at this point.
I'm, you know, MSC, I mean, I haven't been on the ship yet, but the pricing has impressed me for the inaugural. I mean, it's by far the cheapest. It's cheaper than some of my regular Carnival cruise prices, you know, like for me and Andrew. And that was an inaugural sailing. And then I was looking at their excursions. I'm like, this is reasonable. This is reasonable. You know, I felt reasonable. I'm pretty excited they're coming to Galveston, honestly. I feel like that, depending on our experience on the World America, but I could definitely see where they're going to hurt the industry. I mean, you're going to have the pricing right. They've got beautiful ships. I mean, their ships are just gorgeous looking. They kind of have that royal look, but oh,
My regional travel agent person that I talked to, she said that MSC does these cruises all the time, the free cruises for travel agents. So that's something you can look forward to. They stopped it for the pandemic, but then now they're starting it back up again. So that may be something we get to look forward to from now on.
Really?
I'm sure if they're trying to build their clientele over here in the States, I mean, again, why not give the travel agents some free cruises to guide their clientele to the MSC? So it makes sense. I can see that.
I came across one of their last. I was telling her the other day. Too bad I didn't have more leave, because I came across one of their last minute deals. It was an 11-day cruise for $299.
Yeah,
which I didn't think that was bad at all, considering that's no special. No, I mean that's just their everyday price.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's definitely going to be interesting. And I was looking through the different excursions, like they're going through the same ones. I think there could be definitely a cool conversation on the pricing between Carnival and NCL and Royal. I mean, Royal to me, it's like I've been to beaches, like that's kind of high. What's going on?
When I go to Coco Cay, I go right to the pool and just hang out at the pool. That pool is humongous and don't cost a thing.
We're gonna follow your lead on that. Probably.
Well, I'm going there in April with my daughter and her kids, and they're going to the part where you have to pay. So I guess I'm paying too. Yeah, the water. I guess I'm going to be paying too. So, I don't want to pay $100 to go to the water park, and I don't swim. I don't do slides. But you got to do it for the family.
Yeah, it's ridiculous the way they do their stuff too, because 2 ships go into Coco Cay the same day. If you're on Icon of the Seas, you're going to pay a lot more than whoever's on that other ship for the same thing to go into that water park.
Really?
Oh yeah, Icon of the Seas right now. I showed them that adults only area is $89.99 per person, and on these other sailings, it's like $59 per person.
Wow.
Weird. And that's Royal's owned island, so it's not like they're having to pay.
Royal fluctuates all those prices every single time. When you go on there, you got to go through your booking to see what the price is going to be. You can't just see a general thing and say, okay, I'm going to go ahead and book that for every single one of my cruises. You got to go in through your booking and then book it for that date.
That's interesting. I'm pretty excited to try Royal, but it's different.
I'm expecting to get nickel and dime to death on Royal when I go in April.
So when you go in April, how many people are going?
I think we might have about 10 cabins.
Okay, so what I was going to tell you is, depending upon how many people are going in the water park, look into renting a cabana. If they haven't already bought their water park passes, because if you buy a cabana, that gets you 9 people into the water park for the price of that cabana.
Okay.
So that's your admission plus you get the cabana.
Yeah.
So sometimes it's cheaper to buy the cabana than it is to buy individual passes.
Thanks for the tip. I'll take a look at that.
That's a really good tip. I'm telling you, Mike, I've watched your channel a couple times on like how to save money at Disney World and stuff. So you definitely Mike
he's right up my alley. I'm with Mike. I mean, again, I don't drink enough, like the Mr. Sancho's, and just take me to a beach with a bar. I'll buy me a couple of drinks. I'm at the bar. I'm good. I mean, I'm usually good at pretty much with that. Be a team player. You go to the resort. But see, when you go to the resort, all you're doing is hanging out with the people that were on the cruise ship. Mm-hmm. And I like going to a local beach with the locals and have the local food with the local beer at the local prices.
I agree.
Yeah.
I agree.
Has anybody been to that? There's a bar on Cozumel, I think it is, that a lot of cruise members go to, the cruise workers go to when
At the end
they
of the bar.
when they end their career, and they put their name tag up in the bar. I think
just
that'd be a pretty
heard
cool
about
place
this.
to check out.
Yeah.
I've heard it,
seen
but
a
I've
TikTok
never
of
been
it.
there. I've heard of it, but I've never been there.
So it's in Cozumel?
I think it's in Cozumel. I'm pretty sure my wife may have saved it because she wanted to try to go there.
I recently saw, I guess it's one of the he's a I think he works for Royal. He's got like a channel, and he was talking about it, and that's the first time I had heard about it. That's pretty cool. You know, and
It's one of those guys that work for the cruise line that does the channel, that has his channel, because he was telling, he did a TikTok on it and said this is where cruise members go to retire their badges and stuff.
I bet we're watching the same guy. Sounds about right. I know with us, you know, we were going to do an excursion in Costa Maya one time, and we had made friends with one of the bartenders on the ship, and we were kind of talking about it, and they were like, no, you can just go to the beach for free. They're like, don't say anything, but you know, you can just go to the beach, same beach for free, and you can you know, get a bucket of beer, and it's much cheaper than paying for your Corona experience. And so we were like, oh, really? And he's like, yeah, and he was kind of telling us, and of course, Andrew and I left him a good tip, and we had been there all week, you know, and so we did, and I was so glad I didn't pay those prices for the beach, you know, like the beach. It was literally like a little stanchion in the sand of like Carnival people who paid, you know, $60 per person, and us who were there for free.
Yep.
Same people running buckets of beer. It was interesting. I don't know if it's Chris Wong. That's who I thought of too, but I'm not sure, but it could be.
I don't think it was Chris Wong.
I can visualize him. He's kind of tall, blondish. But Bill, at least you came down under, Sean says.
That's a cut at me because I've never made it to Australia, and he wants me to go to the on that cruise in 2025.
Us too. We haven't been, you know, Lisa and Tony have been, Bill have been. We've got about 50% on the panel have been, Sean.
We're going back.
We're going back.
Yeah, see? Now, if family members, do I get included in that, Sean? Like, do I get...
You should get some credit for that.
Right? Like some kind of loyalty kickback, right?
So, one excursion I liked was in Costa Maya, and it wasn't really an excursion. What you do is when you get out of the port, they rent golf carts, and for all day long, you pay $60 for a 4-seater or $80 for a 6-seater, and they give you a little map, which I pulled my map out right here, and all those places in yellow squares are places that are supported by the cruise. The golf cart, red shirt golf carts. The one in red right here, that's the one they tell you don't go to because they're going to try to rip it off. But all the other places, some of them, if you go there, they give you like free drinks and different things like that. Local snorkeling and fishing tours, local drugstore, local free beach.
Where'd you get that map from?
That red shirt golf carts.
Okay,
that's who I rented it from. This is
okay.
It gives you all the information about them right here, and how to rent one for the next time you go, because you can pay ahead of time and have it already reserved.
That's cool.
Yeah.
And we don't have an excursion for there either.
That's what I was just thinking. And Chloe,
it's right at the
Costa Maya.
You just
You're
walk around the port thing.
I don't have anything.
Just make sure you look for the red shirt.
Red shirt. Okay.
because there's another company that sells there too, but they don't guarantee anything. Red Shirt has pickup trucks driving around the island, and if you were to break down, they can fix your cart or they can bring you back to the port, no problem. The other companies don't have anybody that are patrolling the area.
Uncle Dave seconds you. He says red shirt golf carts is legit. Used them a few times.
Yep.
And you said it was like $60 or $80 for like a 4-seater?
It was $60 for a 4-seater and $80 for a 6-seater. And that's all day.
That's a good price.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We just paid like double that for Maine for a 4-seater.
I just made a note of it on my cruise stuff there, Jen.
Well, you want me to me send you this email address?
Yeah. If you don't mind.
Yeah, I'll send it to you on the messenger.
Okay, yeah, because Uncle Dave says they'll bring you another one, like you just said. And see, Andrew likes doing the golf cart thing. We've done that a couple of places, and Chloe loves it. Like she loves being in the golf cart. Like she thinks it's just, she's getting the wind hitting her face. She's getting to see things. It's just a whole experience for her. She loves it. That might be something we consider for real, Lisa. Like, I know Andrew was kind of talking about staying on the ship, maybe just doing the swim up bar and stuff in the port and then getting back on the ship. But we might, depending on.
It's fun because you get to do whatever you want to and go at your own pace.
Right.
No, there was a couple of ladies in Key West did that, and they actually picked us up, took us down to get the cheesecake on a stick, and took us back to the ship. And we tried to chip, and they're like, no, we're good. So well, thanks. And I never even thought if we go back to Key West, I'll probably do that. But I mean, that sounds good too. I get lost in a paper sack, so if Andrew can find his way around, I'll ride with him.
Oh, Andrew likes it. He's in Maine when we were just there, and in one of our videos we were in a golf cart. So he brought his little radio, and he was all set up. He had his cup ready to go, and he even does like karaoke for you and random songs. I mean, he 1 minute he's singing Prince, the next minute he's rapping to you, and then the next minute it's I don't know, some country song. You just never know what you're going to get with him. So,
is there any video of this?
Yeah,
not yet.
It will be.
I had to edit out some of it because I was just like, people are going to judge us. It's like we're like going around. I mean, he has the radio going, and I'm like looking out, and then all of a sudden he just like hits a verse, and he's like, just I don't know, DJ Andrew over here.
I do the same thing.
Yeah, I gotta watch the video to find out.
Yes, but I did have to clip some of it out because he was, it just didn't make sense for the moment.
Those are the best ones.
Words didn't jive.
Yeah. And as y'all get to know Andrew, Lisa and Tony have known Andrew for about 17 years. So they can tell you how he is on camera is kind of how he is in person. Like you just never know what he's going to say. He's kind of quiet and reserved, but then he just comes up with lyrics in the middle of a sentence. You just never
more know. Like when he's on camera with you.
Oh,
Jen, when y'all are sitting there back and forth. Yeah. That's the real Andrew right there.
I sometimes I just don't know what to do with him. $65 last time I've got one, a 4-seater. I was alone but picked up other cruisers and we had a blast. See, that's cool. So y'all, Bill, you're going on the greatest cruise of all time, cruise ship of all time, the week before us.
Mm-hmm.
Are you going to do any excursions?
I don't have anything planned. I don't plan any. I never plan anything. It's more like the last minute. Depends what if I meet people on the ship and what they're going to do. I haven't really been active in the. I'm doing the group cruise. I'm doing the group cruise with Island Time, and I haven't been active in that group. I haven't been active on any Facebook group on that. Normally I am. as I get closer to that date, I'll become more active. I'd spur of the moment usually.
So you're gonna plan some stuff with Z?
I don't think that's what he said. That's not what I heard.
Hecky no. Hecky no. No, you know what? I honestly, I'd sit down and for those who don't know me, sometimes me and Z we butt heads. But anyway, I'll sit down and have a drink. Well, I don't know. Will he be drinking then? Oh well, no, maybe not because he doesn't like the NFL. So I'll be watching a football game. I don't know. It'll be up to him. But I have a drink with him.
You know, I was catching Z a little bit before the show. I was kind of just catching up on what's going on YouTube, and I heard him mention that he's gonna he supports the Sunday night singer Carrie Underwood, and so he said he was gonna watch it for about 10 minutes tomorrow. And I thought, well, in the Patriots tomorrow night,
Right?
Aren't they Sunday night? So I don't think he'll be reporting on the game.
He will be. He'll be watching. See, you make a statement and you want to stick to that statement, and you can't take it back because, well, you just can't take it back. So you got to try to act like you're still. He'll tell you everything about the game, right. And Carrie Underwood. Good job, Mike. Or should we say, Big Spoon?
I was about
Here's the story there.
Good job.
Big Spoon. Too funny.
Sherry's not here, so somebody's got to step in the role.
I think she's in chat.
She was in chat. I can't wait to get me and Michael. We're going on the MSC ship in November 19th. I can't wait to see Mike. And well, he has his son with him, so maybe he'll be a little more reserved. But yeah, just see how he is on the ship. I can't wait.
We'll be on the booze cruise before that.
Oh, I forgot about that. Yeah, you're right.
Uh-oh.
Even the booze cruise, I couldn't even think who's going to be on the booze cruise now, to be honest. I just haven't been paying any attention to it.
It's a lot.
We need to retire so we can start cruising more.
That's what
I'm waiting on you. I'm already retired.
You'll love it.
If we didn't do a month at a time, we might could do more of them.
I know. Yeah. I'm still trying to figure out how to do those long ones. And now, there's other things coming up that I want to do, concerts and stuff. And I'm like, how am I going to make all this work? Like,
that's kind of why we're stuck with just the two. Well, I don't know. We may be doing that third one.
Yeah, I can never get all the information together. I get a piece of information and I lose something else.
She's able to build up a ton of leave, but where I'm working at now, they don't. You can only carry over 70 hours into the next year, which doesn't really cover a whole lot, especially on those long cruises. You do one long cruise and you're basically broke for leave for the rest of the year.
Yep.
We just went from 420 to 840, I think, that we can carry. So I was getting real close to use or lose last year when we booked the other one. It got me down. When it came back, I still had 7 weeks. I'm sitting at 7 weeks right now, but, I'm like, okay, so we have 4 weeks booked, 5 weeks counting New Year's. I'm still on the plus side. And I'm gaining, 20 a month or something like that?
I'd be
hanging in there 22 years.
If I had that much leave, I'd be really going cruising.
Right. 7 weeks.
Kind of friends if you think about going without him. So
no, I don't.
I'm going without the wife in November.
That's gonna be fun. I think that's gonna be real fun. I really tried to see how I could get Andrew on that cruise with y'all, you and Bill, but his work schedule and holidays and stuff, he can't. There's no way. And then not this year. And then I was looking at something else y'all were talking about, and I guess we're just gonna have to cruise with y'all in September next year. That's when we'll get to meet y'all. kind of
It'll
sad.
come.
It'll be here before you know it.
It really will.
Mhm.
It's going to take me that long to kind of work on paying some of that off.
I mean, that's closer than some of these other cruises.
That is true. At
I
least
mean,
that one.
we have these group cruises. They're so far out now. I mean, it's we're planning into 26. You know, I mean, my goodness.
I seriously told Andrew the other day, I'm like, I need some of these cruise lines to drop their 26 schedules.
Yeah, I mean, pretty
Exactly,
much.
because I really want to start cruising. I really want to start booking, and it's killing me. I can't.
I know.
I'm looking again. I'm looking at Mike. So he's doing Ireland and was
Scotland.
25.
That's
Scotland
26.
26. Yeah, so it's all coming up.
See, that just sounds amazing. One of our kids went to Ireland, Scotland, Wales, and
About
she
broke us.
wants to go back.
I think I counted the ports that one day. It was 9 ports. I think 9 ports in 12 days, or 12 or 14 days, something like that.
Wow.
Oh, Clock and I will let you know for sure when he has dates and stuff together. We're for sure that we've already told our families, like, well, in 26 we've got plans for Ireland, Scotland. So
Yeah.
Several people have actually been interested in that one. See Me Traveling, Bone Tide Traveling, a couple different people.
yeah, I think Andrew and I were kind of trying to pre-work it in our head. I'm like, we could fly up to Boston, say hi to some folks for a day or so, and then hop back in Boston Logan, and maybe it won't be such a long flight from us from Texas, and we're going to be rerouted everywhere anyway. So, but that's kind of what I was thinking. I'm already working on it. I've been working with on the job situation, and I got to kind of work in my head, and I'm like, wait a minute, we're getting close to 90 days from the Jubilee. And if I'm on 90-day probation, does that mean I need to kind of reconsider Jubilee? And then Andrew was like, well, I'll let you know how it goes.
You can always make that a stipulation of them hiring, or let them know, hey, well, I've already got this book.
Yeah, but it's going to be this and this and this and that.
Here's my cruise schedule for 2024.
And 5 and 6. Can you work around this?
Work around this one too. Oh, you want me to have projects? Well, what kind of initiatives are we leading? Because in September, I have Utopia of the Seas.
Yeah, the boss told her boss, yeah, I've already approved her to take off a month in April. And they were like, oh, well, okay then. So I don't know if she told her about New Year's and then possibly next summer also. So I'll have to check on that. But
Are you sure you're not retired?
I'm not. I have 3 years until I can. So,
Uh-oh.
that rule of 90.
Yeah.
Rule of 90?
Yeah.
Yeah. Your age plus years of service have to
Yeah.
equal 90 and I'm so close.
We have a rule of 85.
Oh, that's a good rule.
It was 83 years before I went to work in Oklahoma, and it switched to 90, so I just barely missed it.
Dang. Well, whenever I hire in, because I'm not close to retirement, they're just going to have to understand I really mean I look for a company with work-life balance. That's that millennial in me.
I've even tried to let them let me work remote a little bit, and they're like, "No, we can't do that." Apparently they did it for a few others and got in trouble for it.
Yeah, being an electrician is kind of hard.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, how would that remote work go?
Yeah.
Well, look,
Troubleshoot.
connect the blue wire to the green wire.
Yeah.
Oh, that shocked you? Try it again.
Yeah.
Oh, I meant the red one.
Oh, my bad.
You mean the green wire with the white stripe, or the white wire with the green stripe?
Yeah.
What?
Could you imagine electrical services kind of like you like telehealth? Tony, I think you have a troll.
Good job. Jenny for the win. Yes, Jenny for the win. Good job. Good job.
How do you kick them out?
You gotta you gotta.
Right
Click
there.
on them.
There we go. Okay, bye.
I'm an idiot.
Now you're part of the community.
Don't worry. Everybody gets to see that now.
Yeah, I know. I mean, that's one for the
I was
one for
just
the
trying to
record.
show you real quick.
You did. You showed everybody.
Sorry, I'm
Did
sorry.
Did you see the expression on my face? I was like, what?
I'm so sorry.
Where were we? Green wire with white stripe?
I'm sorry. I forgot now.
I feel like, oh my gosh.
And you were talking about other people when they did it. It was so funny.
Yeah.
I'm laughing.
Oh,
You know,
that's
my
funny.
clock wants to laugh. I'm so
It is.
sorry, guys.
But again, I mean, that's the whole thing. You can't take yourself too seriously in this world, in this
No.
YouTube world, and just life in general. Just learn to laugh at yourself. Some people can, some people can't. You know,
I'm definitely not perfect.
no.
I'm kind of disappointed they didn't have a better picture.
I didn't see any pictures.
Well,
Yeah.
I guess we're in the real prime time now. Sorry.
Yeah, I was searching for something a while ago on Facebook, and it was like my groups, and some of the stuff that was popping up, I was like, no, that's not my group. So, sorry, I brought that karma in.
No, that people are just out there looking for stuff. So it's not
late
you.
night.
Yeah, it happens. I had to make sure I clicked on the right comment that time. Hi, it's Grows Nest. I hope you're doing well. Have you missed anything good? No.
A couple seconds ago.
No.
Now, will that replay in the deal, or somebody goes and views it later on, since
Yeah,
it
we
was
can edit
removed?
that out.
Well, since she highlighted it, it will.
Oh,
If she didn't highlight it, it kind of would have been gone in the wind. But no. Only people that saw that were people in your chat. Well, I'm up until.
Yeah.
I don't know how to chat.
That's why it's good to have moderators and support people in your chats.
Aren't you the moderator? Oh, I'm just kidding.
Yeah, I've got you set up as a moderator.
Well, I'm trying to moderate mine. Not doing well tonight.
Figure's always late.
Right? That's usually embarkation too. Always late.
Better late than never.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
It's pretty good. So what do y'all have going on tomorrow? I know it's a good day of football. I know the Patriots and the I know the Cowboys play, I think, midday, and then the Patriots play in the evening.
Cowboys, who? They start
like
football game?
Who dat? That's
either-
New Orleans, Bill. That's not the Cowboys.
It worked.
His team got a win last week, and now he's like talking
I'm
smack
cocky.
on everybody.
I'm
you know what
cocky
happens
now.
when you're you know what happens when you're cocky? You accidentally put things on.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So I take it you did not watch the Cowboys last week.
I did. I watched football. They blew the Giants up. I mean, the Giants looked horrible. Daniel Jones looks like Daniel Jones. You know, he'll have a good game or two here, and then he comes back to himself. But you know, Buff Scrolls that's talking about Go Bills. Josh Allen, I mean, he's a turnover machine. He if he learns how to control. We don't want to get into football talk now, but if he can learn how to stop his turnovers.
I would say it's all kinds of conversation at this point, Bill. Go ahead.
She's still sweeping.
Yeah.
Oh boy.
I don't really watch football that much. My son loves it.
We don't really watch it now. I mean, we not because of any reasons or anything. It's just it. We just get busy, and it's like we'll turn it on for a minute or two, and then we get busy with something else. Sometimes it's on the
Well,
background.
I love this time of year. I mean, I've been watching college football all day. Actually, I'm watching it right now. Whenever you see me like looking up or leaning over like this, I'm looking at the TV, looking at the Colorado and Colorado State game.
What's Deion Sanders doing?
It's 14-14.
Oh,
Game's been a little chippy. A couple of personal
The other
fouls.
guy was talking smack about him the other day.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Scrolls Nest, Golf hasn't thrown an interception. He has like the third or fourth longest streak of not throwing an interception. It's been a long time since she's thrown an interception. Allen, on the other hand, threw 3 last week. So now you got the wrong quarterback when you start talking about Golf. He does have small hands, so sometimes he might fumble a little bit, but he's been pretty much under control last year, this year, and last year he's been under control.
that's a good point.
Yeah. We don't watch a whole lot. We watch Cowboys occasionally, and if we miss it, it's no biggie.
Yeah.
College football has never been a thing for me. I mean, everybody's like, "Oh, OU," and then I find out they didn't even go to OU, and I'm like, "All right, so that's your team, cool." Then I'm like, "Longhorns," and they're like, "Oh, you really suck." Oh well, Texas, and I'm like, "And who's on the team?" I mean, that's how much I care about football.
Right.
And then to top it off, one of our kids is for OSU and the other one's for OU.
Yeah.
So it's like a split. I mean, it's split 3 ways.
It's kind of like that at our house. Justin pulls for UT and I pull for A&M, although they don't really play each other, but 2 different colleges for Texas.
No.
Mike, I had started looking into Nile River cruise too. I think October 2025.
I saw that here under your name. I know that you were making some announcements about it.
I really haven't made any announcements about it, but that's what I'm trying to look at. I think that's outside the summer months, just outside. I think probably like August, September is like the end of the summer, so it'll be a little cooler, but not too cold. But I'm starting looking at some of the cruises. I want to see if I can find one that it's like a land and cruise tour. Right now, because it's a little too far out, I'm not finding that. But like the river cruises look like a lot of fun. Stop at quite a few little places.
What'd you say? You were looking at prices like when you looked at other ones?
I mean, it looked like for like a 3-day cruise, you probably get a decent ship, $500 for the 3 days. And I think that includes for 2 people. It's not like one person. So it didn't it didn't look bad. It didn't look bad. You can do a little cheaper, but that was close more to the higher end. And don't when I say higher end, no, it's not like a Viking cruise ship or Princess. It's a riverboat. So you don't have the casinos, you don't have the entertainment that you would have on like regular cruise lines.
I looked at Viking just for.
I'm not paying that much for it.
And it was like $8,000 or some crap like
that.
No,
I'm not paying that. I'm gonna fly over to Cairo, spend a couple of days in Cairo. 3 or 4 day cruise down the Nile River, and then either catch a plane back to Cairo or leave from there and fly home. So the plane ride is $40, $50, $60, something like that from Anzwar back to Cairo is cheap.
Okay. I was wondering if it was worth just cruising back.
It might be. I mean, again, depends. You probably would hit probably the same stops, Valley of the Kings, and a couple other places. I forget the names of them. But just I just think it'd be so fascinating.
Yeah.
And then Cairo, doing the pyramids in Cairo.
Mhm.
But I mean, you got 100 million people. It's going to be crowded in the city.
Yeah.
Actually, I have a guy I went to school with, high school, well, most of the years. He was, I want to say he retired from Baylor as a professor there, and he's taken people, groups. You sign up with him, and just going all over the world doing photography and stuff like that. And his pictures are amazing. And I was just like, man, I wish I could do something like that, but I don't know that I would have the patience and all the things that he's done and places he's going and taking groups of people. But I looked at it and it was like $5,000 or $6,000 to go, and they put you up and feed you. Everything's included in this, but it's still, I'm just like, I don't know that I could do that, but man, it would be amazing.
Well, usually that like the $500, that was including the tours. You stop at 3 or 4 different places, and they included a tour with a guide.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, to me, the price wasn't bad, and the hotel prices in Cairo. It looks like you can get a 4-star, 5-star hotel for $7,500 a night.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, it looks affordable. I mean, I haven't checked the airfare.
Yeah, it would be the next thing. Although you don't have to worry about that, do you?
No,
You're still gonna have to pay for a leg of that, or no?
I'll pay taxes.
Okay.
I haven't checked the price, but it shouldn't be much. Hopefully, fingers crossed.
Yeah, we normally do something in October, so that'll work out. When I said something to her about doing it, she kind of looked a little bit iffy on it because of her being a redhead out in the sun.
Yeah.
So I guess she'd have to probably end up carrying an umbrella the whole time.
Again, I understand. Egypt, it's not for everybody. Yeah. For me though, I think I really want to judge just the history. Thinking about some of the pyramids built in 1700 BC. I mean, just some of the things that you're going to learn on that trip. And for me, it's like a bucket list type of deal.
Yeah.
Instead of booking another cruise down to the Caribbean. That's why I enjoyed the going over to Australia. I mean, it was so different. And I try to when I look at the stops, because some of my favorite stops were on that trip, and I don't know whether it's because they were new or because they were just so nice. A lot of places down, like in the Caribbean, everything is so commercialized now. And again, it's like, we talk about Mr. Sancho's. I mean, you're just going to a nice little hotel with a beach. You're not getting any of the Caribbean flavor. You're not none of the history, none of the. I mean, you're just going there with all the other tourists. And it wasn't like that when I went to the like French Polynesian islands. I mean, you're just basically like dropped in a city, and you're dealing with the locals. You go to the beach, well, locals are there too. The bars, the different places. Now they did take you around to places where you could tell they probably got a commission for bringing you there. But again, it's right in the middle of the city. You just walk around, and I enjoy that more. I thought that was more like Mexican Riviera. I wound up Mazatlan and not Cabo. Was it Cabo? No, Ensenada. And walking to the local bars, and they had like a bar like Senior Frogs. It wasn't Senior Frog. It was Papas and Beers. But you had to walk. You walked through the town to get to it, and it was just nice. I stopped and had some tacos, and I just really enjoy that. I'm a little leery about the food over in Egypt. I'm hoping, I can find something to eat, and I'm not just eating rice all day.
No chicken tenders and French fries.
I don't know. I mean, again, probably Cairo. Probably Cairo is a big city, so they probably do have a McDonald's and all that other good stuff. But I don't know. Usually I want to venture out and maybe like a street vendor, but I don't know.
Meat on a stick.
Hey, I don't know what kind of meat. It's meat. What kind of meat? It's meat. Okay, stop.
Tastes like chicken.
A lot of it does.
I was gonna say, frog legs, all that tastes like chicken.
I mean, again, you don't know, and well, we'll see.
Yeah,
but again, it's always been a dream, and I always wanted. Not really so much the cruise. I always wanted to go see the pyramids, but then I started looking up the cruises on YouTube, and my goodness, they look fascinating. They look hot.
That's my thing. That's one of my bucket lists is to go see the pyramids.
I was gonna say, if Uncle Dave was saying that he was in Egypt right earlier, he's done the
Sinai. He somewhere, was it Egypt? It might have been Egypt.
Yeah.
Sinai River, or because he was scuba diving.
Maybe he has some tips and tricks.
Maybe so. Hopefully, where to stay. Maybe he knows a guide over there. Maybe.
Uncle Dave, if you're in the chat, if you have any advice.
Yeah, I went back and it's Red Sea and Sinai, Sinai, Egypt.
Bill's doing his research for Nile
River. I'm getting ready. Once you can start getting booking like the cruise and the flights. Right now, I couldn't locate the flights, so I kind of want to get everybody to see what people are willing to spend and if anybody wants to go. Uncle Dave heard his name. We need Uncle Dave. We need some tricks for Egypt. I want to go to Egypt. I plan on going for a Nile River cruise in October of 2025. And what we were wondering if you had any tips. It sounds like you were over there. Like in Cairo. I don't know how far that is from where you were at, but Cairo, Egypt.
Is 3-day cruise the longest they do?
I think I saw a 4 or maybe a 5-day cruise. I'd have to take a look. The part where down the Nile River isn't really that long.
Okay.
So it's not like there's a whole lot to do on the river cruise. So I saw 5 days. A lot of if it's longer than that, usually it's like a land and sea cruise or land and river cruise.
I'm checking chat to see if he's answered.
So you're thinking go in 2 or 3 days in Cairo and then do the 3-day cruise?
Yep. 3 or 4 day cruise. And then a day or two back to Cairo and then fly home. I don't know much about what's in Anzwar, I believe is how it's pronounced. But you might, spend some time down there and then catch a flight back. I don't even know how long the flight is, to be honest with you.
That was going to be my question.
I would imagine probably about 10 hours, 11 hours. Oh, it looks like he was a couple hours away from Cairo.
Okay. That sounds interesting. I know that I know Andrew was interested in it, getting some details, and I think he may. That's something that's been my brother's dream all his life is to go do. Him and my dad were actually going to plan a trip over there. So I told Andrew that it might be something that, would be a good guy's trip for him and Justin to go on.
Shows from Houston to Cairo is 14 and a half hours.
Whew.
Yeah.
Well, I'm sure that's a layover somewhere. That's probably not a direct flight.
Yeah. Well, Toronto is 11 and 12 hours, so let me see what it says.
That's a long flight. If there's not a if there's a layover in there, like an hour or two, that's not too bad. But still,
I know it's gonna be a long flight.
Yeah.
How long was it to get to Australia?
I spent almost 24 hours. Leaving Detroit, 5-hour flight to Los Angeles, and then maybe a I don't know 14-hour flight from Los Angeles to Sydney. So that's 19 hours. But then I had like layover time in New York. I'm sorry, Los Angeles. And then when I got to Sydney, I had to get to Brisbane. So I had another like hour and a half or maybe 2 hours in Sydney to catch a flight to Brisbane. So it was literally almost 24 hours. But again, I'm one of those people that I don't mind airports. It's not the greatest, but I don't mind.
I don't mind them as long as you don't have to sleep in them.
I'll go to sleep.
Out of the 4.
If I can get a window, I just curl up against the window, get my jacket or something, and lay up against the window. It won't be 8 hours, but 2 or 3 hours here and then 2 or 3 hours there, and they feed you probably about 3 times. What Tony and Lisa, you've been there, so they feed you about 3 times. Catch some movies.
Well, that was the one thing that we were really, I mean, granted, we've flown on one particular airline everywhere we go, and that was the first time we had done out of the U.S., let alone international. And the airline that we got on, we were really surprised at how polite, and we were like, man, is this what we've been missing?
Yeah.
Flying on this other airline?
The one we fly is not bad. The one that I refuse to fly on. Yeah.
So all the flights that are out of country, you get a bigger seat on those?
If you pay for it.
Yeah, no, I don't know if you get bigger seats.
Okay.
Not necessarily.
I think we pay because I've got problems.
Was bigger.
Well, I mean, they do have different classes, but as far as like coach, I would assume it's a bigger ship or plane. So, but I don't think there's extra space.
Well, there was the one that we took. They had, if you paid for it, you could get extra leg room.
Well, but the seats were actually comfortable. I mean, wasn't wedged into them. It was, I think that one, and we weren't definitely weren't first class or business class. It was just, we paid, like you said, to have the extra leg room, but the seat was more than comfortable for me. And, of course, I think you're a little bit narrower than I am. So it was comfortable for you. And with the extra leg room, I would literally stick my feet out and I could barely touch the seat in front of me, just stretching out. And we were mid cabin.
Yeah.
And, it was just the 2 of us on one side, and then there was 4 or 5 in the center. And this one lucky young lady, she was the only one on the row, so she put all the arms up and laid down and slept the whole flight. And we're over here like, can you share? So, and the food wasn't bad.
No, it was good actually.
So we had one meal, and then we had a sandwich just before we landed. And then all the sodas or whatever we could drink was included in with it. And I don't remember if we got a mixed drink or not on that.
Yeah, we did.
It was definitely, I've looked at flying back to Hawaii on them. So
yeah.
But
yeah, that they were reasonably priced too.
Mm-hmm.
Who was that?
Hawaiian Air.
Hawaiian Air.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
But that was before we didn't realize that Southwest would fly all the way to Hawaii. So we ended up booking from here to Oakland, and then had to spend the night in Oakland Airport, and then took the flight out from Oakland to Hawaii, then switched over to Hawaii. No, that was when we switched over to Hawaii. Air was in Oakland.
Yeah. And
I was supposed to go to Hawaii this year, and we canceled our stuff because the flights were still so messed up because of COVID. They were going to have us, like, we were supposed to check in on like a Saturday, but all the flights were so messed up that we'd pretty much lose a day on the beginning and we'd lose a day on the end of our vacation, and we didn't want to do that. Each one of them, we'd have to stop in Las Vegas and have a layover and then fly the rest of the way, which I'm not like. I'm real hurt that I had to stay in Las Vegas for any time.
Right.
Yeah.
That would be my airport of choice.
Yeah.
It would be.
Well, I was telling Jen the other day, I got a notice on a very inexpensive flight. Of course, they're, with the fires and stuff, they're trying to get people to come back into Maui. And so you can fly into Maui. What did I say? It was like $68 or I don't remember. It was like really cheap. And then you can puddle jump from Maui to Honolulu or whatever for like $30 to $60. Because we had I was trying to figure out how to get him when we were in Honolulu to Maui to go dive over there. And it wasn't a matter of getting him there. It was him being able to fly back, because I guess you have to wait a time frame after diving before you can fly. So I could get him there, but then he'd have to take a boat back to Honolulu. So tossed around all the ideas, and he just decided he couldn't do it. But
yeah, you got to wait 18 to 24 hours.
Yeah, but right now flying, I don't remember how much it was. I told you, Jen, it was just incredibly how cheap it was. Now to fly into Honolulu, it was a lot more expensive.
Right.
But they're trying to get the tourism back into Maui because they're like, hey, the other side of the island is still open. Come. And I was like, I looked at it and said, can we go to Hawaii for the weekend?
It was like $280 is the number I think sticks in my head. It's like $280 a person.
I remember it was like stupid cheap.
Mm-hmm.
I debated
I want
it.
to say ours was going to be $600 and some dollars, and then, like I said, we'd lose a day on our vacation on both ends. So we were like, it's just not worth it. We'll wait till later on when the flights and all are all straight and COVID crap's out of the way for a while, and then I also said about maybe just doing the we weren't going to be on the island I wanted to be on in the first place, because I want to go see the stuff for like where they filmed Jurassic Park and stuff like that. So I said, well, maybe we'll just do the cruise, and then it'll hit all the different islands.
I would say we've talked about doing the same thing, because we want to go to Lani. We want to go to. I mean, Maui is beautiful with Lahaina. Well, Lahaina's going through what it's going through, but like when you go to like the road to Hana and some of those other areas, it's beautiful there. And I would say, Kauai, I think, is where they said that they filmed some of Jurassic Park. But on Oahu, they have this place called Koala Ranch. I may be saying it wrong, but they that's where they filmed movies like 50 First Dates, Pearl Harbor, some of the Jurassic World, Godzilla, all those different things. And you can go through all the different movie sets on four-wheelers and stuff. It's really cool.
Yep.
What were they?
That's actually what I wanted to do right there.
Lilo and
I've seen
Stitch.
that.
Yeah, they're filming Lilo and Stitch right now.
Yeah.
What, a live action Lilo and Stitch?
I think so.
Remember if there's a probably. I mean, so everything's gone to that.
Yeah. One of the things I recommend everybody do if they go there, the Honolulu, do the Pearl Harbor. The only thing is that we went with a group, and so we were limited on the amount of time that we could stay there. But it was definitely worth going to. But Pearl Harbor,
it really was
an all-day deal.
I forget, they had like a tour there for like $99, and at Pearl Harbor, I think you can walk around most of it for free. It was just, it's crazy what Carnival charges. and then if you want to go out and see the USS Arizona battleship that sunk there and it's still there. I mean, it was, I don't know, $6-7 to go out there, and Carnival, they just charged a lot of money. I wound up catching a Uber or a Lyft, and I want to say it was like maybe $19-20 maybe, and then caught one back.
You can see the ship where it sunk.
Yeah.
I have a video of it. Yep, the ship is still down there, and they never recovered the body. So it's actually a grave site. So when you go out there, you're supposed to, same respect that you would be at any other grave site. No loud talking, no laughing. And, I mean, it's a serious moment.
I've actually posted. I've got a video on my channel of the tour that we did, and there's a small segment of the Arizona, and we were there.
Yeah.
It was real eerie because we no sooner got on the memorial. Now, granted, it was probably the noon sirens, but it was still just an eerie feeling to get on there, knowing where you're at, and then having all these sirens go off.
Right.
It was just an eerie feeling to be there.
I got to admit, because you're there, and then they're explaining about where the Japanese airplanes came from over the mountains. So you're sitting there, and it's almost like a park setting. You're right on the water, real beautiful there, and you can just picture the scene of the ship, of the airplanes coming on, and people scrambling, and they have movies that explains it. And at first they did see them on radar, but they said no, it's nothing, don't worry about it. But next thing you know, they're being attacked. Hey,
I
buddy.
think we read somewhere where they've had 33 of the servicemen that survived from the Arizona actually had their remains buried there.
Did they?
Mm-hmm.
Well, they have big ceremonies there where the people from the Japanese Army and the United States Army, they meet up there at the time. And I was surprised. And again, I don't know what it was, but when I was there were a ton of Asians there. And were they Japanese? I don't know. I assume, but again, we always think of everything from Americans' point of view. Well, they had people, people over in Japan had people they lost there also. So
Exactly.
I mean, it was quite touching.
That's how it was when we were there in 2007, and we're going through a tour, and we're with individuals from Japan there too, and they're looking at the history as well. And I think it just kind of removes that like American, it was a tragic day for many, and I think sometimes we forget that. And when we were there, we did the 12-hour tour, and they take you from the morning and you go through the whole thing, and we got to go through a wreath laying ceremony on December 7th in 2007. Wow. And just seeing that perspective was just so, I know we have pictures and stuff. I've got to find them. They were my dad's pictures, but I wish just kind of, I wish I could remember it more. At the time I was, 18, 19 and didn't appreciate things like I do now. And just, but being there, I just remember the ceremony. It was just such a life-changing experience, because you see things and you're seeing all these individuals and you're just kind of trying to wrap your mind around what happened that day. And like you said, Bill, when you're standing there, you can kind of, they with us on the tour, that they came around this side, and same thing with the radar. And then there was like these theories on if they knew it was going to happen or not. And then they took us to the base that day, and that's where we ate lunch on the tour, and you can kind of see there where they were, where the medic area was and some of that stuff. And then it was just this whole tour, and it was one of the best tours, a land tour, on a cruise ship that I've ever done.
Yeah, it definitely was.
If you're ever in Hawaii, do it.
But
they have the down there for high school for her. She was in the color color guard for marching band, and they selected their high school to go. High schools across the country got to go down there, but hers was one of the ones selected. So she went, and then my sister and my brother-in-law. But they said it was very nice. They got to meet Gary Sinise because he does a bunch of stuff for the veterans and all. Now they said the island itself, parts of the island was kind of run down, like where they were staying at. They said apparently that the school put them up in a hotel or something that was, if you go downstairs and right across the street is like a strip club or something like that. So they said, yeah, they didn't research that very well.
We went on the Mighty Mo too, and there's a submarine there. Is it not Bowfin? Is it Bowfin?
Yeah, Bowfin.
Yeah, and you can do all that right there. It's real close.
Yeah, the Bowfin is right there. I mean, in Pearl Harbor, it's right there, Doctor. You walk on. I mean, again, I'm claustrophobic and getting old. It's like I'm trying to squeeze in between the doors and down in the sub. It's like, oh man, I'm too old for this.
Mm-hmm. Don't wear flip flops.
Well,
Do not wear flip flops.
They had a diagram showing the progression of the different subs. How big the first one was. Mm-hmm. It was like 8 feet in diameter or 8 feet across, and then they show how big the Bowfin is compared to it, and then they show the next class that's fixing to come out. It's like 53 feet across or something that.
Well, if I remember right, there's an anchor right as you're going into the memorial. There's a huge anchor there, and it had I don't remember how many it was flown. It was like, where did it land? It landed like so many feet away or something. It's huge. It's huge.
I have a video on that. If anybody's interested, you can go check out the video. And it's just me kind of basically walking through a lot of it and just filming it. So, but yeah, it was unique.
Both of you feel free to drop your links in my chat for those who want to watch it.
I'd definitely love to go back. We didn't spend as much time there as, it was the trip that we went on was through the hotel we were staying in, and it was, we definitely could have spent a lot more time and done a lot more. But there was the remains you were talking about of the survivors. There's a dive team that takes them down, and I told him, I said that would be really cool. Oh, wow. To be able to, he was saying it'd be cool to dive in that area to see all that. But that is something that I think, even if the opportunity shouldn't be done, just, it's just, I can't even describe the feeling walking out there. And Uncle Dave said, as a veteran, definitely thank you for your service. And I never was able to make that step to do it. I thought about it and didn't, and I just, man, just the feeling on the whole area right there was just indescribable. And I would love to go back and read the things and see the things that we didn't get to do that day. And I don't know when we'll have the opportunity to do it again, but so blessed that we were able to go that one time and able to, spend a couple extra days. But we went all throughout the island, and I told him, I said, I'm doing this. I don't care what you want to do. If you want to go dive all day long or, 2 or 3, I'm going to go do this. And he chose to go with me on the, there to the base and look at that. And I was glad he was there. So. Hello.
Welcome in, my wild home. Scrosness says the other anchor is there in Tucson at the University of Arizona campus. That's cool.
Oh, that's nice.
Hi, Cruz and McKeith. I hope you're doing well too.
Hello.
Thank y'all for joining us. Yeah, I definitely want to go back to Hawaii and see Pearl Harbor again and take Andrew and Chloe. I definitely want to go back to the Polynesian Cultural Center. That place is really cool too. A lot of Polynesian culture. I remember them, teach you how to make poi, and they would go up and get the coconuts and just do different. It was really then, and the luau show was amazing. I highly suggest the Koala Ranch. That was probably my favorite, one of my favorite things to do there outside of the Pearl Harbor tour that we did. And then my dad and brother climbed Diamond Head, and they did that whole trail. My mom and I went and did. Um, there's like a crater and like the wall fell. I can't Hanama Bay, and we did snorkeling and stuff there. When my dad and brother did. They went to Diamond Head, and I really love that too. That was so pretty. Definitely things I want to take Chloe to go do. I definitely want to take her to do those things.
I did that from the ship, and I caught public transportation down to Waikiki Beach and walked towards Diamond Head. But it started getting late. It was nighttime. It started getting dark, so I never actually made it to Diamond Head. But I really enjoyed it and caught the bus back. Whatever it was, $1, $2. It wasn't much. Don't be afraid of public transportation, people.
No, don't be. Often it's cheaper and just as safe. Or something. I love it when there's an excursion and you're on something very similar to public transportation, but they just charge you triple the price for it.
Yeah.
Uncle Dave says, "Thank you for the kind words. All I can say is we were just a bunch of kids doing a dangerous job trying to make the world a better place. Thank you for your support." I definitely thank you, Uncle Dave, and all of our veterans.
Yep.
The Punch Bowl. Yes, we were there too. Is it Ronald Reagan who's buried there? It's been a while since I've been there, but I think Ronald Reagan's buried there. Somebody's buried there. And we went there too to visit. And my dad, that was mostly my dad. My dad loved like history and stuff. So that was, I remember being there. I don't remember all the details so much of it. I wish I kind of paid more attention. It was one of those things like I was a teenager and I was excited to be there, but I don't think I took it all in like I would now as an adult.
I find out I take it more in now because of YouTube. A lot of times I would go places and just take a tour of the islands and stuff like that, and was listening but didn't really let the history sink in. But now that I do YouTube, I'm paying more attention. Even on the cruise ships, I never paid attention to who the cruise director was, and now it's a thing. It's like, hey, this cruise director? Oh yeah, I know that one. I like this one. I didn't like that one. So I try to pay a little more attention now.
He says not right.
Sounds familiar.
If you know who it is, please tell me because I'm gonna. If not, I'm gonna look it up. I can't remember.
What were you trying to find? Who was buried at
the Punch Bowl area? Yeah. I don't remember who it is.
For Google.
I would, but the way my night's going, I'd probably end the live, and who knows what would happen with me.
You just got to make sure you put it up on the screen. That's all.
You know it. I can't believe I did that. It's all right. Move on.
You were like, for those of you that are missing out.
Yes. I wanted you all to feel included to know what we know.
Well, it's
just Cody got us back on topic.
Thank you, Cody. Cody for the save. His favorite experience was in Roatan with the monkeys and sloths.
Yep, that was mine as well.
I'm excited to see the sloths. I have to admit, I'm going to be like a little kid. I'm going to be there out there with Chloe, just giggling and being silly.
The way they move is like crazy. How slow they are. And tell me if they say the same thing when you go on yours. The guy was constantly repeating the sloths only poop once a week, and today's not the day.
They said the same thing too. I was like, thanks for letting me know.
Yep.
And
I got it on my video, and I repeated it. It's like for some good information. Today's not the day.
I
I
know.
hope it's not that day either. Not something I want to see.
Seems like they have a pattern. They've got it down.
They got some Velociraptor claws on them.
They do.
There was a long list of people who are buried there, and just a lot of war veterans and a couple of politicians. No name actually like stood out, like a Ronald Reagan.
Well, he said it's not right. I don't know why I thought Reagan. I'm going to look it up. I need to pull those pictures out. My dad took probably 5,000 pictures of that trip, and well, that trip and of Maui when we did like Road to Hana and stuff of waterfalls and stuff. And I've always felt like I need to go back and like organize them for, and put them in a nice book.
Yeah, I don't recognize any names in that list. No.
It was 2007, so
Y'all were talking about public transportation. I'll give y'all another tip when you go to Vegas next time, because I think a few of y'all go to Vegas. The Deuce. I go on public. I ride that thing all the time. Sometimes
you gotta
it's good,
explain.
sometimes it's kind of iffy.
You got to explain what the Deuce is.
Yeah, the Deuce is a double-decker bus, and it drives all up and down the strip. It'll take you from one end all the way down to the old Fremont Street, and so for $20 you get a 3-day pass on the strip. But if you go into the app and you buy a residential pass, you can get a 7-day pass for $20. So, and it doesn't matter that you don't live there. No matter who, anybody can buy it. And I checked that at the. I've had somebody in some of the chats. I told some people that, and they're like, "Oh, you're busting the system. They're going to get you." And the reason I found out about it is because I went to the transportation station and I asked them, "What do I do?" Because I'm here for over 7 days. They're like, "Just buy the residential pass." They're like, "Okay, I just wanted to make sure I can do that." They're like, "Yeah, anybody can buy a residential pass." So yeah, you get 7 days for $20 instead of 3 days for $20.
Some of those lines can be so long, though.
Yeah, it can be a pain in the butt sometimes. But if you're going from Fremont all the way down,
how do you get from the airport to your hotel or to your
so I was doing the set rate, but then I found out that Uber's heck of a lot cheaper. At least the last time I went.
Okay.
I went to Excalibur, so when I went from the airport to Excalibur, it was $27. I think was the flat rate. But when I left Excalibur, went back to the hotel. Back to the airport, it was $13.
Yeah. Because I'm still planning on trying to come out there October.
One day that week.
Yep. Probably like the October 8th. That's a Sunday. Sunday to Monday.
Be cool.
I don't know where I'm staying at yet. Probably I have a rating at MGM, so I might do like an MGM resort.
Yeah, funny thing is we do most of our gambling at MGM, and my buddy had the best price at Caesars. So we're staying at the Link. He got 8 days at the Link for $900. So it's $450 each.
I forget what it used to be, but the Link, I used to go down there because it's right there, right mid strip.
Yep.
With Caesar's Palace, Bally's, Flamingo, Harrah's, that's Bellagio, and some other place. It's all right there, and it was cheap.
Yep.
What was that place?
I guess Bally's is Horseshoe now.
We've stayed at Excalibur a couple of times, and
No, the last place.
It's
The hotel
Cromwell
room
right
next
next to it.
door.
Hare's on one side. Well,
Uh-huh.
Flamingo, and then Cromwell.
The Palms?
Yeah.
Most of those, like the Palms or something like that.
Where we met Parkman.
Yeah.
Palms is
wasn't-
across the street from Rio, off the strip.
Okay, that's not it. It was on Fremont Street at the end.
Yeah.
Plaza.
The plaza.
Plaza.
Was that it, Jen? I know your dad stayed there.
The plaza.
Okay. Yeah. Okay.
They just redid the plaza.
Yeah, did you see they put a bar where all those lights are? In the front, at least like where they would like I guess, where the cars would drop you off and stuff. There's like a bar there now.
Oh,
Huh.
okay. I know that steakhouse that's on the second floor or whatever, that was in the movie Casino.
The best steakhouse, one of the best steakhouses I've ever been to was in Minions Horseshoe at the top of their hotel.
Mhm.
And I mean, I loved it then. It was a reasonable price. It used to be. It's gone up now, but
Yeah.
at nighttime you could see out over like downtown towards the strip with the lights. It was so. I loved the view, and it was a reasonable price. It wasn't like the steakhouses on the strip where, it's okay. Well, you don't have two people have a $500 bill for a steak. That's not me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
When we were at when we went to Andrew's mom's wedding last November, we went to the steakhouse in Circus.
Yes, that's the next one. That's a good one.
But it's expensive. I mean, it's good, but it's expensive.
It used to be cheap.
No.
That's why I used to always go there. Steakhouse at Circus.
Yeah, it was.
What do you consider expensive for Vegas for a steak?
Me?
Either one of you.
When
It's like when I went to the D to their steakhouse that's on the second floor, and my tomahawk was $69.
That's about the prices of these.
yeah, again, that's nowadays that wasn't bad. See, back when I did it, and this was probably going 2015. It was like a filet mignon. It was probably about 35.
Hmm.
I don't know what like the tomahawk or the how much that was going for, but it was a reasonable price, and you have a glass of wine, and I was getting out of there for $70. I mean it wasn't much.
Gotcha.
I mean, I felt like it was kind of expensive, but it was probably one of the best I've ever had. So
It was delicious, and the bread, and I mean you felt fancy.
yes,
I had a good steak at the MGM. What the hell is it called? The newest one. That was the other old casino. Park MGM. Right there when you walk in, they have that little eatery area,
Mhm.
and the one place does steaks, and I mean it was still expensive. It was still $40 or $50, but it was very good, seasoned very good.
That used to be in Monte Carlo.
oh, the park. Yeah,
Yep.
Mhm.
we stayed there last April, and it's really nice. I mean, we liked it. It was free from the My Vegas points, so
We had the kids with us, and we stayed at the Excalibur, and we'd do like the buffets and stuff like that. Nothing really good. Tony and I went out there one time, just the two of us, when the kids were little. I stayed with my mom, and it was like a Polynesian theme hotel right in the middle of the strip, and they did a luau and all that. And I think that's been closed for quite a while, but that was probably the best that
Imperial
we had.
Palace?
Yeah, I think so. Imperial Palace.
Oh, that's the link. Imperial Palace. That's the link now.
Oh, okay.
Oh, okay. Now, last time we drove through there, I was kind of like, I don't see it, I don't recognize it, but I did see the link, so I guess that's what happened. I know they've changed over a lot of stuff and
Yeah.
put in like a shop. I guess there's a shopping center there now in the middle of it, and
Right in front of it.
taking out some of the old ones and stuff. So
and they have the big Ferris wheel in the back. So there's like a mall, like a mall setting where you walk down the link and with shops and different restaurants, and you walk down to where the Ferris wheel is.
Hmm.
Huge Ferris wheel, not like a huge.
It's kind of like a replica of the Eye in London. Like
yes,
it's got pods and stuff. It's real cool.
It's very nice. We did it at night. Me and the wife lucked out because we're not drinkers, so we went in there and we're like, okay, we want this. They're like, do you want the one with the bar where you drink the whole hour? We're like, nah, we don't need that. Like, okay, just going up there. Like, okay, where's the line? He's like, there is no line. You just go right on. So we went in there and had the whole ball to ourselves. So I got to film all kinds of different stuff all the way around. Of course, then I wasn't doing YouTube, so it was like I filmed a little bit of stuff, but she mainly did most of it. But
yeah,
very nice views at night.
It's really cool. I definitely would do it. Christmas, I'm still trying to figure out who it was. I can't remember now. I'm gonna have to go through my dad's picture. I remember it was somebody, and then I see you put Ernie Powell here. Maybe that was it. I just remember it was somebody, and it was like my dad was like, "We have to go see this." I was like, "Okay." I don't know why I thought it was Reagan, but he's in California. I'm sorry. Today is not one of my better YouTube nights, guys.
Uncle Dave has a message for you, Bill.
World's Cruise ever probably is leaving in 7 days, Bill. Oops, shots fired. Oh. Yeah. Is that the one? Are you gonna? Is it the Glory?
The Glory.
Yeah, he's warming up the Glory for us.
He's warming up the Glory. You're gonna work out the kinks for us for the booze cruise. Thanks, Uncle Dave. I appreciate you.
Tester cruise. Well, I know we've been on for a while. I know we've talked about our excursions topic and kind of ventured out. Did y'all want to highlight your channels again, just for anybody who maybe joined us later, and then what you've got going on?
Yeah, well, our channel's basically, we're Traveling Check is basically, it's going to be a travel channel in general, but because we don't really have a whole lot of content yet, it's mainly got scuba diving and stuff like that on there. We are working on getting more cruise information and topics put up there. Lisa's working on her travel agent thing.
Sweet.
Last time I looked, we're sitting at 54 subscribers.
Yeah.
And yeah, we've got some videos on there. Like I was saying earlier. Oh, we're working on doing a group cruise in June or July.
Probably July of next year.
July next year. Trying to get enough rooms together. If not, we're gonna. Who we're gonna go through.
What ship?
Well, we don't know. We're looking at maybe they want to go out of Galveston. It's some of my cousins. So we started with that, and we've talked about the Dream, and we talked about I kind of let them know about the Jubilee too. That we could jump into somebody else's group, because right now we only have 4 cabins that are probables, not definite. If
it said July 27th, that's the same as when we're going.
Yeah, Jennifer sent me the link, and that was, some days I feel like Kelly Bundy. Information goes in one side, and out I lose something out the other side. So I got some information from Andrew on the Dream, and then she sent me that, and I was just like, okay, like 2 hours before we went live tonight, I was like, hey, where did you send that? Was it Messenger? Was it text? Was it Facebook? I have no idea where it's at. So
I'll send it again because I'm not sure.
Thank you. Yeah, because I sent out the information I had from Andrew on the Dream and talked about the Jubilee. This one would only be 7 months out, but blah blah blah. And I don't know where the link is, so I'll get more information tomorrow, and that's where I'm at right now. So, but we've actually had people approach us a year or two ago wanting us to put something together, and we're like, all right. So we started looking into it, and they were like, oh, well, such and such has family that does. And we're like, okay, so we just stopped, and so I've not planned anything like that. And like I said, I'm not a real outgoing person, so I wouldn't know the first thing about what to do yet. As far as a group, what all we could do on the ship, and I know some people they're able to get like I don't know if they rent the dance hall, not the dance hall, but one of the clubs or whatever, or how all that works. But with only 3, maybe 4 cabins worth of people right now, I know it's not going to be any of that unless we can. I mean, my mom's side was a Smith, so we have family everywhere, but only 3 other couples have said, hey, yeah, we want to do this. So we'll see. I think we're going to try to tomorrow film him cooking some and cooking with traveling check, or
Yeah, if the weather holds out, we're gonna attempt something called the jacked up meatloaf. It's got Jack Daniels in it. It's pepper jack cheese stuffed in the middle, and then it's put on the smoker for about 3 or 4 hours. Just we've made it before. It's turned out really good. Just thought we'd film it, let's see how it turns out.
Maybe change the name to Variety with Check. Traveling.
Well, right now we're just looking for content, try to get stuff up there that we can post, because the cruises that we've got are so far between.
Right.
I mean, we're not going to get content any other way.
Clock, what do you have going on?
I got the live with my wife tonight, and may have a cruise trivia. Well, have a trivia, and I need to start working on some other videos. So I'm gonna try to get something out this week, but with work, I'm not sure exactly what's going to go on. Saturday, next Saturday is my birthday, and I'm off on Friday, so maybe I might have some time to get a video done on Friday. So we'll see between now and Friday.
Well, happy early birthday if we don't see you.
Happy birthday.
Happy birthday.
Thank you.
Tony makes kolaches too. So maybe there'll be a video on those. I know they're very good. He's done some pumpkin cream cheese ones for me, and they were fabulous.
Yeah.
Mr. Bill, what do you have going on this week?
I have, let me see. Wednesdays, me and Scott, Controversial Cruising, we do our show together, Cruise Talk, 7 p.m. Eastern Time. And then on Thursday, I do Banter with Bill at 5 p.m. Eastern Time. Not quite sure what the topics are this week, so I'll probably get it out tomorrow as far as when I think of a topic. Besides that, just working on the channel, trying to do better and trying to work on these end cards and these cards that you put in there. I'm learning so much about YouTube and how it's working. There's so much to learn. Tony and Lisa, it takes time. We all started off with no videos, and you got to build up 1, 2, 3. I think I have, 400 videos now between lives and videos and shorts. So probably about 400, but it takes time just to build it up. This is not an overnight process. I'll tell you that much.
Right.
No, it is not.
And you're always going to learn.
It's incredible about the amount of information that you can learn. I mean, just like watching videos, and Nick Nimmin is who I've been watching, and just things that you can do to help your channel. How much it helps, well, that's a different story. But I was learning today how to. I know we were kind of signing off here, but how to put end cards. End cards. Remember, when you watch a video till the end, and then like 2 little screens pop up in the videos. Well, I'm learning how I can put my videos in those screens, so it guides you to my videos. And it's like if I do a cabin tour, which has been some of my best tours, my cabin tours. So what I'm doing now is going back to my cabin tours And then I redid my playlist where that end card to be my playlist of cabin tours. So it guides people. So if they like your video and they're there to the end, maybe they did like it. Well, here's guiding them to your own videos, and it's just so much to learn, and hopefully it pays off in the end.
Yes, Uncle Dave. I learn every day. I mean, there's I'll watch something and I'm like, hey, I didn't think of it in that perspective, or I didn't think of it that way, or how did they edit that video that way, or
It's so much.
so much. And I mean, but earlier you were talking about, I would just start if you want to start. I mean, just, and if anything, memories for you. I don't regret just starting it. I mean, sometimes I look back at videos and I wish we would have kind of done things a little differently in our editing, or and there's definitely errors I see where we've done things, but I make errors still, like tonight. So, it's always just a learning curve, and you just have to laugh and roll on and have good friends to support you, and but just give yourself grace. But like Bill, I'm always researching and trying to learn and how to improve and what I could do better or something. Both of us. Andrew does too. He's just a little busier than I am, but we're definitely trying to learn. I think it's awesome, Bill, that you're constantly researching as well, and you and Clock are such great resources for learning. You're both monetized, and just your perspectives on things is awesome.
You know what? I really do enjoy it. It's just so the problem that you have is you expect or instantaneous results. So, like I said, I'm gonna put these end cards at the end of my videos, and I'm like, tomorrow it's like, hey, I didn't get any more views. Well, I'm just do that from here on out, and hopefully, like if I do a video and it does well, it kind of guides them to more of my stuff instead of guiding them to like some other channel that YouTube suggests. So I mean, it's just so much, but it doesn't happen overnight. And if you expect it to happen overnight, you're going to be disappointed and want to give up. You just know it's a long process unless you get lucky and have a video go viral, or people like your like your content. I mean, I was looking at some of my old lives, and it's like, why did you guys watch me? I don't know. I just still don't know. I think I'm better now. I'm still not, not the best, but I'm better now. But I wouldn't even smile in my lives.
I have nights like that. I do, and I'm just grateful for all of you. Just know, I'm glad that y'all love us because.
I'm so happy. Especially late night. Will G's here. I mean, this is a late night crew starting to come in.
I know. I was about to end it, but it's like all of our fun, Will G's come in, and we've got Scrow's Nest has been commenting, and Uncle Dave has been here from the beginning, and I know Scott, and we had Betty tonight. I'm like, wow.
Yeah. And hopefully everybody's hitting the thumbs up button, the like.
Thumbs up, thumbs up.
Is that better?
There you go. Got Cruise Nuts in the house.
Oh yeah.
How much Cruise Nuts do you need? I like those hats. They got that Guy Fieri look to me.
Yeah.
Been a busy. Yep, that's awesome, Will. Thanks so much for stopping in. We appreciate you.
Yeah.
So Andrew and I, we're going on an adventure tomorrow. It's not that it's a mysterious adventure so much as I'm just trying to make sure I coordinate it right. But we're going on an adventure tomorrow. It's just gonna be me, Andrew, and Chloe, and I'm real excited just for just a little weekend getaway. We have a show with Destination Fun on Tuesday nights at 6 p.m. Eastern time, and so we often talk cruise talk. I've been trying to do pop-ups during the week. My work schedule's kind of picked up the last couple weeks, and I'm grateful for it, but it's kind of limited me on when I can pop on for lives. I have a trivia show. Andrew and I have a trivia show with Controversial Cruising. I think we're gonna keep the 6 p.m. Eastern time, 7 p.m. 7 p.m. Eastern time, 6 p.m. Central time for the trivia. That seems to have been working for us. Friday, sometimes Sherry and I will go live. Sometimes we won't. I know she's got Disney this weekend. The last couple of Fridays have been really busy for me. I'm trying to get some things for work finished, some projects, and then we have our Disney talk on Saturday morning. I know next week Sherry may be out. I know Clock, it's your birthday. We actually have some plans next Saturday as well, so I don't know if we'll be live that evening or in the morning, but hopefully you have your notification bells on and you will know when we go live. Just waiting for Bill's 1 a.m. pop-up test. Uncle Dave, thank you. I love those.
Well, I won't be testing anything. I don't have anything. The last thing I was testing was, trying to broadcast or how to stream to Facebook, YouTube, and Twitter or X, whatever it's called now. And I do pop up, and I get so surprised when I see people coming in there, because usually I'm just doing it so I can do it, see what it looks like when it's live, when I'm live, and I go on late at night not thinking anybody's gonna be there. And sure enough, the people start coming in. I start talking, so then I'm done testing, I guess, because now I'm talking to everybody in the chat. But hopefully, I'm not no time soon.
I'm just gonna quit saying hi. I'm just gonna lurk.
I mean, but I can see how many people. Or like when people are in there, so then I start talking because it's like, well, people are in here. I don't know who's in here, and then I get nervous. Hope it's not like somebody a troll or anything like that. So, no, if you're in there, I appreciate it if you say hi.
Well, I usually get the notifications, but I'm at work, and so then I'll have to watch, stuff later. I just don't get to go in. Very, very seldom do I get to see anything live, sadly. So I listen to it while I'm traveling. I think I caught one of Jen's the other day. I was on the road between locations, and I just popped in, said, "Hi, I'm here," and I didn't say anything the rest of the time. So.
Yeah. Went to see Tenacious D last night. Oh, that sounds awesome. Did you have a good time?
Old Jack Black.
Miss Disney talk this morning. We talked about the expansion of Magic Kingdom.
Yep.
And
Kelly's chomping at the bit to get in on that.
the conversation, or to go to Disney?
Well, no, not the guy. She goes all the time. It's just that I said something to her about it, and she was like, "Yeah, I'll go on anytime," because she's a big Disney nut. I mean, she has her contacts from when she worked there, and her husband seems like they're up on just about. I mean, anytime anything happens there, they know about it.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
because of her contacts and stuff.
Yeah,
they really do. I know Kelly's let me in on a couple things. Like, hey, did you know? And I'm like, nope. But thanks.
Yeah, she used to work for the different. She was the costume. Worked in the costume department for the Lion King.
Oh, Magic Kingdom also.
Magic Kingdom. There's like 3 different places, and I didn't realize how busy they were. But I mean, it was pretty fascinating to listen to what she had to do and stuff like that with all the costumes for the live shows and stuff. And she got to know a lot of, meet a lot of people.
Yeah.
I think that would be I know we've just switched over to Disney for a second, but I think that would be the coolest thing about working at Disney is just being a part of that magic. I'm sure that you have good and bad customers and all that, that aside, but you're going to have those magical moments where you just change somebody's life and they're seeing Mickey Mouse for the first time. I know with Chloe, I mean, seeing Mickey Mouse for the first time and just those memories are forever ingrained in our family, so being a part of that, I think would be such a blessing as a cast member. Now I know they go through a lot.
Yeah.
But I think that part of it's really cool. Will G will be in Orlando area in December to sail in the Freedom. Not sure if we'll make it to the parks.
Can't afford to go to them anymore.
Yeah.
It's expensive.
Yeah.
I saw a comparison the other day. It was like between just 2020 and now, like it's over 1,000. Like when you went line item by line item of like, a 4-day at Pop Century, and then like where your wristband, your bands were, your magic bands were included. Now they're not. You got to pay for them separately, and just different items. And it was over $1,000 difference just between now and 2020.
We've been 3 times. I'm not into the rides or anything. We went with both the girls and the oldest daughter and the oldest grandchild, and it was fun seeing seeing it through his eyes, kind of, because there was one there were the chipmunks. He's reaching up and grabbing hold of the nose, and that was just probably one of the most memorable pictures I have of. He was just so excited to see that and be able to share that with him. Yeah, Chippendale. And it was, it was totally different. And I was like, the mom was like, "Oh, well, here you go ride." No. You go ride the rides. I'll watch him and all the purses, and I'm good right here. And that was, for me, that's Disney, is watching everybody else have fun. Again, I'll sit there on Main Street and watch people walk by, and I just so enjoyed that part of it. But man, the Animal Kingdom and Main Street, to me, or the around the world, learn all the different things there. I'm okay with that, and sit and watch them ride the rides and take all the photos. I have over 5,000 pictures. I heard y'all talking while I did go let the dog out. And, I have over 5,000 pictures just on my phone right now that I need to do something with. And, it's thinking about all of this, and, with him trying to get the channel up and stuff, I'm like, all right, well, instead of taking the picture this way or video this way, I need to turn it this way. I never really thought about it. I just snap pictures and, have those memories to look back on. But I guess I have to reevaluate how I take and record now. So.
Right. No, I get that. And I like to people watch as well. It doesn't have to be just Disney. I mean, cruise ship, Disney, Vegas,
malls,
anywhere.
Go to Vegas. Vegas is the best place to people watch.
Let's say Vegas is my favorite.
Vegas is.
Well, we were there 2-3 years ago for his birthday, and God, that's so much marijuana now. I mean, we were just. I had a headache the whole time we were there. It was just not fun, Get me in the casinos, I'm okay with that, but not. Always wanted to stay out there on Fremont Street, and we did that time, but it was just so much. I just getting with all the marijuana smell.
Is that when I had that lady pass out on me?
But still, the people watching though on Fremont Street, especially like around like 2 a.m.
No.
It's Fremont Street is getting really weird. Wasn't this bad. It's getting bad now.
Yeah. We didn't even take Chloe in November because I was like, I didn't feel like parent of the year when I took her, during Tony's birthday party. So we didn't even take her down there. But when Andrew and I went by, it was just the two of us in April of last year. We were sitting at one of those little bars, and it was worth whatever prices we were paying for the drinks just to sit there and watch the circus walk on by and at Fremont Street.
Used to be more acts, and now it's like just people out there just trying to get money, like move my arms and all kinds of weird stuff.
Yeah, it's a little strange. That's for sure.
We took the girls going up to his parents years ago, and they were preteen, and we're like, keep your hands in your pocket, don't take anything from anybody. I can't imagine, having my granddaughter there, and it just don't nobody need to see that.
Uncle Dave says, people watch. Have you been to Walmart lately? Yep. There's a People of Walmart's page that I sometimes look at. It scrolls up on Facebook, and
just go look at some of the casinos. They put Walmart to shame.
Yeah.
They actually make Walmart look normal.
I don't know. Oh,
Yeah.
it's interesting. It's interesting for sure. I know. We were getting our overnight. So we were getting our overnight bag ready tonight, and Chloe, she saw I was moving the luggage around, and I was moving her life vest, and she was like, "Cruise? Are we going on a cruise?" Just because Mom has luggage out does not mean we're going on a cruise. And she was like, and I was telling her what we're gonna go do, and she was like, "Cruise? No, no, baby."
It's good that she enjoys it. So
She does. She
she's
really
taking
does.
all that 24-hour pizza and ice cream and what
when
it
it
used to be.
One of Andrew's coworkers the other day said they're like, "You're setting her standards kind of high," and Andrew was like, "Well, I don't really see a problem with that. I'd rather have high standards in travel and stuff than
Mhm.
you know,
My
never
kids have
left the
gotten a little
state."
bougie too.
Do
My
what?
kids. I
Little
said my
bougie?
kids have gotten a little bougie too.
No.
It got to a point where my kids were like, we're kind of tired of going to Walt Disney World. I'm like, what? I'm
I'm
like, yeah, I don't really need to go back there. We can try Universal or something else, but it's getting bored of the same going to Magic Kingdom. It's like, oh, okay.
I remember when I want to say it was like 2005 or so. My dad had taken us to Maui, and we were on the road to Hana, and we stopped at every waterfall and every little thing. It's like a 60-mile stretch or something. And my brother and I are both like, "Do we have to see another waterfall? Like, can we go do something fun?" My dad was so mad. He was like, "One of these days, you're going to look back and wish you're doing this and looking at waterfalls and taking in nature." He's like, "One day you're gonna just have
Mhm.
these regrets." And I was like, "I don't think so." Really would like to go back and whatever it was. And here I am, almost 20 years later, and I'm like, I wish I was at Road to Hana looking at waterfalls. He was right. Chloe's gonna be platinum before she's 10.
Right.
Maybe she'll turn gold on the Jubilee. She'll have 25 days. 25 days at sea. I think she's at 23 right now. That's not our goal. It just kind of happened that way. We've done a couple of 8-day cruises, and so that bumped her numbers up. I lived in Vegas when you could actually drive down Fremont Street. At least my mom could. Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I know when we were there, people were trying to drive down Fremont Street.
Yeah. It's definitely a good thing that you have them big ballards up.
Yes. Yes. I definitely agree. And we still see people like walk out in front of cars and stuff there, especially
Well,
like,
it's that, and people are renting those like Lamborghinis and all that other crap, and they want to act cool, and they go speeding down that little the part of the street that you got to cross over, and
Yeah.
They just don't pay no attention to anybody.
no, they don't. There's a lot of people who've been, having a good time and drinking or doing whatever, and then they're not paying attention either. They just walk out in front of a car. Like,
Yep.
oh, we're gonna play Frogger today. I don't know. People. Sometimes I just don't get it. But I'm gonna log off. I know it's getting close to midnight here. I know it's later for Clock and Warmstrong, and those of you on the East Coast in our chat. thank you so much. I appreciate you. I know Lisa and Tony appreciate you. They're trying to grow their
Yes.
channel. Also, if you're not subscribed to Bill and Clock, I swear by their channels. They're great channels. They're great friends. Go catch their lives. Clock does Sunday evenings with his wife. They're a great combination. They're a lot of fun to watch. Clock also has a lot of great tips on traveling and to save money, and he's done a lot of Royal and Disney. Definitely a great channel. Bill, I mean, he's been on 43 cruises. He knows what he's talking about. His lives are informational. He and Scott are a great duo on Wednesdays. Banter with Bill. It's always a great topic. Last week it was photography. It was safety. I mean, there's always great topics there. Check Bill out. We appreciate his channel. We appreciate him, and I know Embarkation Nation. We appreciate all of you. We're working to grow our content, and we've got a lot of trips booked for next year, and we're just kind of working on some fun things to do locally right now. So just kind of it's fall weather. We're going to take Chloe outside more. It's getting a little cooler, so please have your bell notifications on for all of our channels, and we look forward to seeing you soon. Everybody have a great night. Thank you so much.
Good night, everybody.
Everybody.
Bye.
Everybody.